Welcome to the following presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.
A loaded week one continues between the hedges, where Kirby Smart and Georgia hold two of the last four national championships. Today, a new era starts in Athens as Gunnar Stockton ascends to QB1 and leads the Dogs.
You're watching Kickoff Week, presented by Modelo.
And welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Chili's. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. You're guaranteed only 12 of these each year, and 93,000 flood Athens to watch fifth-ranked Georgia trying to get back to its national championship form against Marshall. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us. Alongside the former All-American and NFL linebacker Kirk Morrison, I'm Mike Monaco. Don Davenport joins us in a moment. Georgia's won two of the last four national championships. Last year, 11-3, trip to the quarterfinals. This year, what do you expect?
I expect them to get back to the national championship game. It's national championship or bust. And what did Kirby Smart do? They went to the portal. They stacked the wide receiving group. They've got a returning quarterback in Gunnar Stockton, and they want to get back to being old school dogs. That's running the football.
Big call by you, and it has been dog dominance the first 9 years under Kirby Smart. 5 losses the last 4 seasons, 0 here in Athens. 7 trips to the SEC championship game, including a pair of titles. Of course, the back-to-back national championships in 21 and 22. Last year, trip to the first 12-team college football playoff, the loss in the quarterfinals to Notre Dame without Carson Beck, who's now in Miami. So it's Gunnar Stockton's job. What'd you see from him on film?
Well, I'll tell you this, Kirby Smart said it's Gunnar time. And the reason why it's Gunnar time, because he's able to make guys miss. He can run the football when needed. But I love the way that he extends plays. He can get to the outside, keep his eyes downfield, and able to throw on a rope, and has the accuracy to do it. But what I love about Gunnar Stockton the most, he's got guts. He'll hang in there and deliver a nice, deep, accurate football. Gunnar Stockton, he's the man now, taking over for this Bulldog offense.
And today he gets unveiled in this new permanent role. Everyone's got an opinion on the QB at Georgia. Don Davenport, what does Gunnar Stockton say about himself?
Well, Mike, he smiled when he said this, but he said the biggest misconception about him is he's just this country, quiet, non-vocal quarterback. Now, he's not a rah-rah guy. I watched him in warm-ups. He was very business-like and reserved, but I talked to someone who knows him better than most. His roommate, now starting center Drew Bobo. They've been on the scout team the last few years together. He told me he is not the shy, reserved guy everyone thinks he is. He commands a huddle like no other, loudly, confidently. The chemistry on this offense is there already with Gunnar in charge, and Mike and Kirk, he's more than ready for this moment in this season.
He has so dreamt of this, Don, his entire life, and today he quarterbacks Georgia again against Marshall. Kickoff right around the corner. Happy to have you back, college football. Welcome inside Sanford Stadium, where they are ready to go. Marshall won the toss. They've got a completely new team, and they want the opening kickoff. No chance from Peyton Woodring. First-time head coach in Tony Gibson leads Marshall. Let's go inside the locker room.
College football does. You guys got that? Yes, sir. Nobody has our story. Okay? We're going to go out there today and we're going to honor that. We're going to honor the past. We're going to honor the 75. All right? Most of all, we're going to honor each other. All we need is each other. Now let's go honor that damn thing.
A West Virginia native leads this group. Tony Gibson, longtime defensive coordinator from the state of West Virginia, with 74 new players on his roster, including a freshman quarterback, Ja'Kai Long, who hands it off to Antoine Roberts for no gain, with C.J. Allen, the preseason All-American, on the stop. It was crazy at the end of last year for Marshall. Charles Huff was the head coach the last 4 seasons, 32 wins, 4 bowl games. But he and Marshall did not agree on a contract extension. So even though they won the Sun Belt, he moved on to Southern Miss. Tony Gibson takes the job. So many guys in the portal, and a new team in Huntington. Here's Roberts again off the left side with nowhere to go. Gabe Harris Harris stacks them up for a loss of 2, and it's third down.
Oh, Gabe Harris on the outside, man, just making a play. Extension, extend, get off the block, and go make a play. This is that Georgia defense up front, Mike, already showing, hey, they are back.
So it's 2 runs to start with his redshirt freshman, Ja'Kai Long, in his collegiate debut. Started fall camp 3rd on their depth chart, ascended to the top role, and won the job the last 2 weeks. On 3rd down, across the middle into coverage, incomplete. KJ Bolden, the sophomore safety, preseason All-American in coverage on a pass intended for Floyd Lacey.
Yeah, he's preseason All-American for a reason, Mike. The young sophomore already showing he's one of the experienced guys in the back end. Watch as he keeps his eyes on the quarterback. He's on the left side of your screen. He just comes right in. He almost could have intercepted that pass, but showing some experience just for the sophomore, KJ Bolden.
Really good start for Glenn Schumann's defense. And Nathan Totten, the redshirt sophomore from Kentucky, will get it away to the USC transfer, Zachariah Branch, former top 10 recruit. Calls for the fair catch right at the 30. All right, and here we go. It's Gunnar Stockton time. Came on, of course, in the SEC championship game against Texas. Started in the quarterfinal against Notre Dame from tiny Tiger, Georgia. Carson Beck now at Miami. You went through the film. This is the 2nd career start for Stockton.
Yeah, they've helped him out, too. They got him some receivers out of the portal. But they want to get back to running the football. They didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher on this Georgia offense from a year ago. They want to get back to old school downhill running the football.
Gunnar Stockton has said, all my life I wanted to be the quarterback at Georgia. The redshirt junior's ready to go. He's got Nate Frazier leading a deep stable of running backs behind him. And it's Frazier to start with a spin for about a yard. The run game is so important for this Georgia team. Talking to Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo yesterday, they emphasized that when they got back from the Sugar Bowl, that was focus number 1 for them.
Yeah, but it's going to be running back by committee. There's not one lead guy just yet. It's going to be multiple guys we'll see in the backfield today, Mike.
Frazier down off the left side, searches for a lane and takes him past the 35 before Cannon Lewis stops him after a gain of about 4. And that was the focus for Kirby Smart. 10th year, of course, at his alma mater. 7 trips to the SEC championship game, and has said that last year was the hardest year of his tenure. 3rd down for the Dogs. Cash Jones, the 5th-year senior, 3rd down back, reprising his role. You got Zachariah Branch in the slot to the right. Stockton to the air, and there is Branch, who is shifty. And the USC transfer is into plus territory. Elusive inside the 40. It's a pickup of 25 to move the sticks.
Like, we've had to talk right before the game. What do we say? How many touches for Zachariah Branch? Get him the football. Hand it to him, whatever you may do. As long as the ball is in his hands, he makes things happen. That's just an easy throw to the outside. He makes one guy miss, and you can see the electricity in young Zachariah Branch.
And that's one of the words Kirby Smart used with us about Branch yesterday, who was the number 7 recruit a couple years ago in the ESPN 300. There's a little pop pass on the move. It's Dylan Bell who cuts it upfield back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down coming up. Jaleel Rivera Harvey in on the stop for this Marshall defense, coordinated by Shannon Morrison, but it has all the imprints of what Tony Gibson has done through the years.
Yeah, but I love what you mentioned with Shannon Morrison, the defensive coordinator. He wants to have his guys come out and want to play 3-3-5. It's a little different style of defense this year for Marshall.
Stockton with time. Now he steps away from Cannon Lewis, and Stockton can do this. He gets close to the sticks, picks up 7. Run out by Kerryon Martin, the 6th-year senior Will linebacker, that brings up 3rd down and short.
This is the underrated part of Gunnar Stockton's game. He sees that there's nothing there, so what does he do? He makes a play. He gets to the outside, and look, keeps himself safe. He doesn't want to deliver a blow. He gets out of bounds, gets the 1st down, but it's an underrated part of his game, I think, getting to the outside and making a positive play.
And we saw this in the opportunities he had last year, getting up John at guys, got up after the hit from Andrew Makuba. 3rd down and 3. Cash Jones up the middle, and he swung down. Carry on Martin in on the stop again. It's 4th and 2 from just outside the 30, well within the range, of course, of Peyton Woodring.
Yeah, but this is the first drive of the season, Mike. I don't know if I want to settle for a field goal. I think this is a statement. Who are the 2025 Georgia Bulldogs? You asked me before the game, who are they? Well, this is a reason, right? They're going to show you right here on 4th and 2.
Nate Frazier comes back in, the sophomore running back, preseason 3rd team SEC. 3 in the red beside Gunnar Stockton. It's an option. Stockton the cuts. And he moves the sticks into the red zone.
I want you to see what Gunnar Stockton does to the defensive end right here. All he does is just makes a little quick move, and he gets to the inside. It's a nice job by Stockton. All he does is make one guy miss. That was Caleb Clark Glover, who went for the pitch. Nobody went for the quarterback, and he gets the first down.
Pickup of 14 for Gunnar Stockton. 12 personnel here, and this is Dwight Phillips Jr. with the first touchdown Dogs.
Mike, you talked about statements. They get to 2 tight end sets, and you get a kick out by Delp. You get lucky on leading up, and then Phillips ride through with the convoy. That's the drive that the Georgia Bulldogs dreamed about last night, and they got it done in 8 plays, 70 yards.
The junior preseason All-American Peyton Woodring on for the point after. And what'd you say about running the ball for this Georgia team and that offense's identity? They pick up 45 of their 70-yard drive on the ground.
They wanted to get back to old school Georgia football. The Dogs go down and score on their first drive. How about them Dogs?
Rolling sound, clip.
Reset.
Hi, I'm referee number 2. So sorry I'm late. Violation. Red card and cut.
So this is your car, huh?
Yeah. Bye, guys.
How much are we paying this guy?
Lease the 2025 Tiguan S for $299 a month. Limited inventory available.
Some days, all you want is an escape into sheets washed with Downy Gentle Soft and Fresh, with a subtle, delicate scent and softness. Downy breathed life into your laundry.
Downy. Thanks for walking us through the plan.
Have fun with Lizzie this summer.
Doors connect us to what's important. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll help you build a personalized investment strategy. Doors were meant to be open.
Place, live games, live stats, plus you can track your fantasy teams and you can personalize with your favorite leagues, teams, and players. You can watch College Game Day there as well. Lee Corso goes out a winner with his final pick, by the way.
Sure did.
He went back to where it all started. Ohio State, they got the win against Texas. 7-zip Georgia to start. And Marshall will get it at the 25. We told you an entirely new team in Huntington. Great team last year, 10 wins, Sun Belt champions, but check this out. 78 players lost to the portal. The lowest returning production in FBS. 70-plus new players on the roster. Tony Gibson said to us his first 2 days in Huntington, he lost 12 pounds because all he had time for was 4 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, he said he packed a bag and he thought he was going to be there for a couple days. Ended up staying for a couple weeks before he was able to get settled and bring all his things from North Carolina State up to Marshall, West Virginia.
Ja'Kai Long on a screen connects with Floyd Lacey. So they brought in 2 transfer quarterbacks, and yet Ja'Kai Long, holdover, redshirt freshman, the guy that won the job.
Yeah, a guy who they think is special. He just needs reps and experience. Think about your first college start is against Georgia, at Georgia. Well, that's what Ja'Kai Long has got in front of him right now. Let's see how he handles this, especially at the line of scrimmage, his first start in college football.
This is from Hurricane, West Virginia. son of a former Marshall wide receiver. It was a tough snap to handle, and then Long gets blown up for a loss. Brings up third down as he was met by Kristen Miller.
This Georgia defense. C.J. Allen right there, number 3. We saw him. He's another one of those guys, one of the leaders of this defense. They lost 13 players to the National Football League in 2025, Mike, and yet this defense is stocked, reloaded. And this is the third down opportunity here for Ja'Kai Long.
By the way, good to see C.J. Allen out there. Picked up an ankle injury this week, as did Dalen Everett for Georgia. Third down and 3. Long with time, and he rifles incomplete for Floyd Lacey. Ellis Robinson, the redshirt freshman, former #1 recruit in coverage, and it's fourth down for the Herd.
I love this. Mike, this is called distribution. You know what distribution is? When everybody is in the spot where they need to be. It's a nice job by this Georgia defense. Just watch the distribution of these guys right here. This group. See the receivers, they're going every which way, but just watch how everyone knows where they need to be. The coverage is tight. There's really nowhere to go for the quarterback.
And so Zachariah Branch will get it from Nathan Totten again. Another fair catch signal just inside the 30. Georgia forces a couple of 3 and outs to begin, and the Dogs back on offense when we come back to Athens.
The Triple Dipper, only at Chili's, lets you pick your 3 Chili's favorites, like Chili's famous fried mozzarella, honey chipotle crispers, big mouth bites, and yep, I'm officially hungry now. The Chili's Triple Dipper tastes what all the hype's about.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The early season hopeful doesn't hope that this is her team's year. Knows so. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
Smasher's taking us all the way.
It's got everything. Back-to-back hand smash patties served hot off the grill. They're saying it's the Smasher burger of football.
It's good, but my son's QB1.
I'm starting the Smasher. The QB1 of burgers.
This game has gotten out of control. All the money, the unpredictability. Yeah. It's time we instate a commissioner.
Introducing the commissioner of coverage, the Aflac Duck.
Commissioner, when health insurance falls short, who pays you cash to help with your medical bills?
Aflac.
The commissioner has spoken.
I love that duck.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with
Aflac.
An official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Y'all can ask about it at work.
And embarked by Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Plenty of Marshall greats through the years. You heard Tony Gibson talking about the program lineage. Speaking of greats for these programs, Herschel Walker honored here down on the field pregame as well. Heisman Trophy winner back in 1980.
Man, one of the greatest college football players ever. Like, that's Herschel Walker. And to think that in the NFL, a lot of Herschel Walker talk this week because of the big trade from Micah Parsons from the Cowboys to the Packers. Everybody keep talking about the Herschel Walker trade. That Micah Parsons trade was just as big. But no, that dude, Herschel Walker, he still looks like he can play running back for the Dogs right now.
3-time SEC Player of the Year back here in Athens. Gunnar Stockton back at the controls midway through this first quarter here at Sanford Stadium. Nate Frazier off the right side. He gets dragged down at the 35 by Marvay Myers. Pickup of 7 yards for Nate Frazier.
Yeah, I love the tempo now, right? You think that Georgia's just going to huddle up. They're right back on the ball, showing a little bit of tempo this series.
Frazier again. And he pushes forward, and he's got enough for a first down. Well, they're excited about Nate Frazier. Like Bobo, the offensive coordinator, said to us yesterday, the big focus for Frazier is not dancing as much. Just get the dirty yards, especially early in games like those last 2 runs.
I like that part. You said get the dirty yards. I mean, just put your foot in the ground and go north. All right, no dancing, no east and west, get downhill. But I love these tight ends. We're going to talk a lot about these guys. Number 4, Delp, and number 7, Lucky, for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Both on the right side of the formation in this 12 personnel. Stockton rolls. He chips it down to Chauncey Bowens. Another running back they're excited about. 5-yard pickup for the redshirt freshman from Florida.
So I love the patience of the quarterback. Just watch the eyes of Gunnar Stockton. There's no panic. He's got a defender right in his face. And what does he do? Just slide to the right. Nice, easy throw for a pickup and a positive gain. Those are the things that you see from a quarterback now in his second year, basically, in starting for this football team.
And distributing right there to one of 4 different running backs we've already seen for Georgia. Stockton for Oscar Delp. Cut down near the 50. He's got a first down. Cam Smith in on the stop after 6 to the senior tight end, preseason second-team SEC.
Oh, that was a good play by Cam Smith, number 0. He came all the way from left field. And I want you to watch on the left side of your screen, watch number 0 just flash. He makes a beeline, and I love the tackle. Wraps up, and that could have been a huge play for Georgia, but Cam Smith bringing him down. Nice solo tackle in the open field.
A redshirt senior safety transfer from Jackson State. And whistles blow this dead before first down.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose. That play is now under video review.
Lee Hedrick is the referee leading this SEC crew, and our replay official is Jim Laborde. Kirby Smart coaching up Oscar Delp, and let's check the spot of this.
No, that ball seems to be down. I think. My initial look at this one, Mike, just tells me that he had control of the football, and we know the ground can't cause a fumble. That's a bang-bang play, but I think that he's got enough control as he goes down to the ground, and the ball pops out after, I think, his elbow hits the ground.
Yeah, so let's see if Delp is down, and we'll bring in the newest member of our team, Jerry McGinn. Jerry, how do you see it from your vantage point?
The ruling on the field was that the runner was down.
The ruling on the field is
it does appear that when he hits the ground, he still has control of the ball, and then it pops loose. I would leave the call stand, upheld, Georgia's ball.
All right, you're on it, Jerry.
Yeah.
And in agreement with the replay official as well.
I got my first one right this year, Mike.
There you go.
I got my first one. I'm batting 1,000 right now. I'm good.
Check
I'm
back
happy.
in at week 12. By the way, that is new nomenclature if you care about such things, that it's just going to be upheld or overturned. We're not going to haggle over confirmed or stands this season, so you're going to hear a lot of upheld this season. So Georgia's still got the football, and they do have first down from midfield. Frazier again. Turns it upfield, turns the legs, and Nate Frazier picks up 5 more with Jason Clark, sophomore linebacker, in on the stop.
Yeah, I just love these tough yards, and we just keep talking about for Georgia. It's about 4 or 5 yards a game. Watch the blocking up front, get kickouts man on man. And now you're just asking the running backs to do what? You're asking them to make one guy miss. If you make one guy miss, that's how the big plays come.
Stockton under pressure, downfield, incomplete, in the vicinity of the true freshman Talon Taylor. And it brings up third down.
Wow, bringing a little pressure are these Marshall Thundering Herd defenders. That's a nice job of just bringing an extra guy. Georgia just didn't have enough. Just watch through the middle, right here, coming through. It's a nice job. That was Cannon Lewis coming through.
Cannon Lewis playing a bigger role today because 6th-year senior linebacker Jalen Parker's out with a knee injury suffered this week. Third down for Georgia. Stockton across the middle. Zachariah Branch. First down and more. Just outside the 20. 24-yard pickup, and Branch again moves the sticks.
So it's funny, right? Cannon Lewis, what did he do? He blitzed the play before. Watch him this time. He blitzes. This time, Georgia picks it up. And that's all the time that you need for quarterback Gunnar Stockton to find the receiver, Zachariah Branch, right through the middle. That's a nice job by the Georgia offensive line picking up the blitz.
Which looks very new, the offensive line for Georgia this year. Stockton escapes. And Stockton got around the corner. Tripped sidelined by Cam Smith. And Stockton creates for 7.
Well, he says he's an old school farmer. This time he's playing magician. He's playing Houdini. You got to find, where's Gunnar Stockton? Where is he at? He's in there, and then he takes off. The ability I've talked about so far in this first quarter, his ability to extend plays and get out of the pocket. This is what they love about Gunnar Stockton. When they say Gunnar being Gunnar, that's a Gunnar Stockton play.
It's a give to Frazier. He goes hopping forward, close to the line to gain, about a yard and a half short. Tripped up by Naquan Crowder. So 3rd down and short coming up for this Georgia offense.
Be interesting what this play call is here, Mike. Got a defender, I think, banged up on the play. Looks like Cam Smith, number 0.
Yeah, the safety that you highlighted earlier.
Yeah, but
really key guy on the back end.
4-down territory here, Mike. I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot to the end zone, and if they don't get it, go for it on 4th down. They did it in the first drive, but here they are doing it in the second drive now.
Ethan Barbour, freshman tight end, is the lead blocker for Frazier. Up the middle, stacked up, tried pushing the legs, and he got stopped by Javay Gilmore. Appears to be just short, and it is 4th down likely coming up here. Indeed.
Oh, man, nice job, Jamal Weiss. Number 99, he's in the middle of that Marshall defense. All he does is just create a pile. Watch Big 99. He's just trying to fight around. He's just moving guys and pushing guys away, created a pile, and that's what stopped the Bulldogs. And like I mentioned, Mike, that play call, you knew it was going to be 4 downs. And here goes Georgia again, going for it on 4th.
Chauncey Bowens is the running back for the Dogs. Stockton pulls it, and he's got a 1st down and more. Touchdown, Gunnar Stockton. Well, the legs have been fully on display from Gunnar Stockton, who's had some big pickups on the ground. He runs it in from 13 yards out, but now concerned for the talented true freshman starting right guard Juan Gaston. At 6'7", 360 pounds. They are so high on this guy. And he's down inside the red zone.
Yeah, they've been talking about him all week, just raving since we've been here in Athens about Juan Gaston. A guy who's come in here, gotten in great shape, and to start as a true freshman in the SEC on the offensive line just kind of tells you the type of player that they think this could be for the Bulldogs.
Let's have a look at the right guard, 73 in red here. Rolled up on?
Yeah, I think he may have been rolled up on, but seeing him walk off the field on his own power, that's a positive sign there.
Guy who came in at 392 pounds, worked so hard to shed weight, and you saw the context. The only other true freshman offensive lineman to start a season opener under Kirby Smart in his 10 years here now. Andrew Thomas went on to be drafted 4th overall. So hopefully Juan Gaston's all right. So 2 70-plus yard touchdown drives. This one 11 plays, and Stockton runs it in himself.
The first drive was on the ground with the running backs. This time, it's Stockton to the end zone. This is Kerryon Martin. He's going to crash down. Here's Daytwan Smith. He's going to crash down too because they're so busy trying to stop the running back. And there goes Gunnar Stockton right on the outside with the quarterback keeper. That's when you're running the ball effectively with the running backs. Everyone converges, but nobody converged on the quarterback who ran in for a touchdown.
Georgia up by 14. Let's go down to the field, and Trayvon Walker, former dog grade, is with Don.
I was going to say, this guy is liking what he's seeing so far out here. First overall pick for the Jags in 2022, and you certainly left a legacy here. What did it mean to you to wear the red and black and play between the hedges?
Wearing the red and black, it really means a lot. Going to the University of Georgia, obviously winning the national championship, really means a lot. And coming in and being a part of helping Porter Foundation that we help instill into this program, it really means a lot. And hopefully these guys continue the legacy on what they're doing.
So you mentioned that national championship 2021. You guys came in preseason ranked 5th, same as this this team this year. Not everybody knew a whole lot about your team or what you could do. This team is talking about the comparisons there. What was it like on that team at the beginning of the season?
We always knew a lot of people counted us out. We knew it was the underdogs, but Kirby always instilled in us that we're going to come out and work hard regardless of who we're playing. Rather it be Alabama or like somebody like a Marshall. It don't matter who it is, we're going to come into every game with the same mindset. And I feel like once we did that year, it really carried over, and we see the end result, which was the national championship.
It's been fun to watch this defense. So far, if you're a Georgia fan, what have you seen from this group with some fresh faces today?
These young guys came out today. They coming out swarming fast, stopping the run. That's the main thing. And once they got the ball in there, they making them get the ball out quick, getting their hands on balls, batted balls, things like that. It really affects the game. But stopping the run, I'm really impressed with how they're stopping the run right now, because that's what we pride ourselves on.
I feel like I'm walking with the president down here. Everybody wants to say hi to you, but I want to give you a quick little second to talk about your foundation, the Trayvon first.
So the Trayvon Walker Foundation, it's a foundation I started mainly just because I always wanted to give back to my community, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do so. It's all about enhancing the youth to be the reach as high as they can, be the brightest star in the sky. Everything that they put their mind to, they can do it regardless, no matter what. I just always wanted to be able to give back to my community, and that's what I'm doing.
Sounds great. Thanks for taking time, Trayvon.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Don Trayvon, thank you very much. Good to see Trayvon Walker back here in Athens. He was talking about Georgia trying to stop the run. Well, 3 positive runs here, Kirk. The first 2 from Joshawn Barbie, and then there from Michael Allen.
Yeah, getting a little misdirection, Mike. That's going to be, I think, sort of the answer to what Georgia's been doing. They're great at the point of attack, but maybe the misdirection is kind of putting guys in some different positions and no help.
3rd possession for Marshall, and finally they've moved the sticks. Again, it's Joshawn Barbie, and he gets stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Ran into the big arms of Xavier McLeod and Elijah Griffin as well, the number 3 recruit in the country.
Yeah, number 3 recruit. Look, watch him in the middle. Elijah Griffin, number 90. He controls the block, and extends his arms and gets off. We just talked to Trayvon Walker, right? He was one of the guys that did it the best. And there's a young freshman, true freshman, Elijah Griffin, doing the same.
Final 5 seconds of this opening quarter, and Marshall will think about this 3rd down. Headed toward the second.
That's the end of the first quarter.
A loaded week 1 in college football is off and running. Kirby Smart's Dogs have looked good the first 15 minutes. The ground game has been active. A 14-0 on Marshall in Athens. Presented by Chili's. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. This is kickoff week on ESPN, presented by Modelo. Down to Don Davenport with Tony Gibson.
Head coach, Coach Gibson, what was your takeaway from the first quarter, and what do you need to do to get things going?
Yeah, we got to tackle better, and then obviously we had a couple of good 3rd down stops, and we gave them 2 big plays on 4th and 1. So we got to be better there, and offensively we got to get some momentum going. Right now, we had a couple nice runs right here, so we got to find a way to ease some time off this clock, put points on the board.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Kirk couldn't do it there. They connected with Floyd Lacey, but snuffed out 4th down and a punt coming.
Yeah, just not enough early on. They got to find a way to get some explosive plays, at least 2 or 3, to try to flip this field position. But now they got to punt it to Zachariah Branch.
Nathan Totten's 3rd punt already. And Branch with a fair catch at the 19-yard line. Well, it's been a good start for Georgia. First time scoring touchdowns on its first 2 possessions of a season since 2022. And I know Kirk digesting that first quarter. A lot of the run game, especially with the quarterback in Stockton.
Yeah, he's our leading rusher right now. Gunnar Stockton on 4 attempts. He's got 40 yards and a rushing touchdown. I think his ability to use his legs, right? His arm, we know. I love the arm talent. He's going to be able to throw the football around. But it's the rushing attack is what Georgia wants to get back to. Play actions, flea flick. They're going to be able to do a lot more if they're running the football effectively. And we've seen that in the first quarter.
It was 83 rushing yards, and 13 of the 19 plays have been runs. Stockton floats one to a wide-open Oscar Delp near midfield. Got behind Cam Smith and picks up 30.
Again, what was that? Play action. That's the thing. It's play action again, Mike. I want you to watch the tight end. He's just going to go up, and nobody's going to cover him because everybody's watching the running back. And this is what I keep talking about. It's the play action move. Everybody's looking at the running back. Nobody's going to cover the tight end. That's an easy throw for Gunnar Stockton. Probably a little upset. He would have let him a little more. Probably would have been a touchdown.
Stockton 6 of 7 for 87 yards. Chauncey Bowens off the left side. Carry on Martin to stop. Yeah, Stockton's been very impressive so far. I mean, Carson Beck goes to Miami. Of course, the injury to the elbow in the SEC championship game. The expectation was always that Beck was going to go to the NFL draft. That's what Beck initially announced, and then instead goes to the portal, and now with the Canes.
Yeah, but these guys are still in contact, right? Gunnar Stockton still texts Carson Beck. They're still good friends. Said he learned a lot from Carson Beck over the last couple seasons. And now it's Gunnar's time to show what he can do.
Stockton on the roll, and he fires, and it's incomplete. Marvay Myers broke it up, intended for Dylan Bell, and third down coming. We'll take a look at Chili's 3 impact players for the Dogs offensively and the weapons that surround Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, these weapons right now, Nate Frazier, Zachariah Branch, and Drew Bobo. You make Drew Bobo the center? Yes, he's an impact player. Yes, that is the coach's offensive coordinator's son. Mike Bobo, that's his son Drew Bobo. But Zachariah Branch as well. These guys, I think, are going to be huge to the success of these Bulldogs in 2025.
Third down. Stockton with time, and he zips one past the 50, caught by London Humphreys, short of the sticks. Fourth down coming up after a 4-yard pickup with Marvay Myers on the stop, and the offense stays out and goes up tempo.
Yeah, saw Kirby Smart point, keep the guys out there on the field. That was a nice delivery. See what they come up with, or they could be just trying to draw Marshall off sides. Remember, you have the coach-to-player communication in the helmet. So just get into the line of scrimmage. Play called in now. Gunnar Stockton calling the play at the line.
Marshall nearly jumped off the edge with Josh Pierre-Louis, the nickelback. Georgia did not snap it, and that will run it down by the Dogs for a delay of game.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike, that you make there. Drew Bobo, my impact player, he's got to snap the football. Once you got that defender who goes across the line of scrimmage, he snaps.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Look at him, Mike. If he snaps, look how close it is. Now, Drew, he's got to snap the ball. Drew Bobo's got to snap the ball. He's got to feel that. The peripheral vision of the center. He's got to see that. He snaps that football. Would have been a first down for Georgia.
Instead, the punt unit comes out, and that right there is Drew Miller, redshirt freshman from Iowa, his second career game. He's in for the preseason first-team All-American Brett Thorson, who is still coming back from a torn ACL in the SEC championship game against Texas. He has been punting, just not yet cleared to tackle. So Miller sends one to the 5 and into the end zone for a touchback. Marshall gets a stop. They get the football back, facing the number 5 team in the country after this.
Tied up 7-0. The Tommy Castellanos transfer from BC ties it up with the Doaks. 7-7 first quarter, Alabama, Florida State.
Matt, thank you very much. Let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Verbo. So you got Alabama at 8, year 2 of Kalen DeBoer. Tommy Castellanos talked a pretty big game.
Yeah, he talked a big game. He's got a new offensive coordinator, too. Well, he's joined forces with Gus Malzahn down there at Florida State as the OC.
Marshall back with it, trying to get in gear offensively, and Ja'Kai Long fires incomplete for the Akron transfer, Adrian Norton. Ja'Kai Long, again, won this job when he entered fall camp as the number 3. They brought in Carlos Del Rio Wilson, a transfer from Syracuse. Zion Turner, who started his career at UConn, was with their new offensive coordinator, Rod Smith, last year at Jacksonville State, and yet Long was the guy to emerge.
Yeah, he was the guy that just showed how special he could be throughout practice. Remember, he started actually 3rd on the depth chart and rose all the way to number 1, so his play throughout fall camp is really what pushed him to the top.
Lloyd Lacey on the jet sweep turns it upfield. and picks up 4. Don.
Yeah, I talked to Jakai this week about that. He said in the spring the coaches told him he wasn't good enough. So he worked really hard. By the time they had their first scrimmage, he made enough plays. He said the switch flipped and they move him to the ones. He called his parents to tell him, and then he said every single day after that, his mom, Heather, calls him after practice, casually asks, so, anything changed today? As recent as this last Thursday, guys. Hey, anything changed? You still the starter?
Fingers crossed from Mom. And Jakai Long indeed QB1. 3rd down with pressure coming. He navigates the pocket, but he's swung down from behind. Raylan Wilson wrangles him down for a loss of 3, and it's 4th down.
I love Raylan Wilson. The way that he was able to get up the field and then retreat. Being able to control a blocker. He's going to be on the right side of the screen. Watch him go up, control the blocker, and then sees Long try to break through. No. That's retrace. Go get them. That's a nice sack there by Wilson, controlling the blocker and then going to make the play.
So 4 drives for Marshall, and Georgia has forced 3 3-and-outs. We've seen a lot of Nathan Totten so far in these first 20 minutes for the Thundering Herd, and it's blocked. Georgia blocks the kick. K.J. Bolden got a piece of it, and the Dogs are in business.
You got to play special teams in the SEC. I don't care if you're starting or not. Watch K.J. Bolden here. He's just going to watch his angle. He got a perfect angle on the outside, and if nobody blocks you, you go make the play. He got there, nobody blocks me, I'm going to go block the punt. That's how you do it right there, K.J. Bolden. You can be an All-American safety, but can you go out and go make a block on special teams? That's a nice job there, getting a hand in there.
So how about that from Georgia? Terrell Foster went up to grab it, and Georgia's got it at the 20. On the ground with Dwight Phillips, and he carries it for 7 inside the 15. Looked like Cash Jones had brought pressure up the middle as well. You mentioned Bolden off the edge, and Gunnar Stockton and the Bulldogs knocking on the door.
Yeah, there's multiple guys just making plays. The defense gets off the field, and now all of a sudden the offense right back running the football again, controlling this game.
Stockton follows Phillips, and Stockton is tripped up. Sturdy tackle made by Josh Pierre-Louis, who started his career at NC State with Tony Gibson.
So here we are now, 3rd down inside the red zone. Where do they go with the football? We've seen Zachariah Branch earlier, made a couple of plays. Now the tight ends, do they come alive down here inside the red zone? That's why I'm going to keep my eyes on the 2 tight ends on the left here. We've talked a little bit about them so far. This is where they come alive.
You see both of them. 4 Oscar Delp and 7 Lawson Lucky on the right side of the formation. Stockton pulls it again. Stockton into the end zone for the 2nd time on the ground.
You know, like here I am just talking about the tight ends and what they do, but what they do well is they block. Watch the blocks by both Delp and Lucky. We talk about the tight ends and the pass receiving tight end, but look at the block. They both set up. You can walk right into the end zone like Gunnar Stockton did on that last one. A nice job by the tight ends. Outstanding. 12 personnel, get in 2 tights and go make a play.
Now, unfortunately, though, Georgia's O-line depth getting tested. That is Micah Morris, redshirt senior starting left guard, who's already playing with a broken right hand. You see the club on his right hand. He is able to get up and jog off. Juan Gaston, the right guard, true freshman, has not come back into the game. He'd been replaced by redshirt freshman Daniel Calhoun on the right side of the line. Peyton Woodring for the point after. Well, Stars can play special teams as well, and K.J. Bolden sets up another touchdown for Georgia.
Yeah, it starts with special teams, the block, and you get back on offense, and it's all blocking up front. And we're here in Athens, and guess what? It is all dogs. Just great blocking up front, Mike. It's an outstanding job. The 2 tight ends just leading the way for Gunnar Stockton.
See, the first Georgia quarterback with a couple of rushing touchdowns in a game since that blowout in the national championship game. 22 season, 23 on the calendar of Stetson Bennett. Gunnar Stockton looks comfortable so far. He's run for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's 7 of 9 through the air for 91 yards. Georgia up big. And Xavion Turner Bradshaw, the son of Ahmad Bradshaw, former Marshall great, gets a chance to run this one back. And he gets chopped down at the 20. Well, there's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? 93,033 is capacity here at Sanford Stadium between the hedges, and a 78 straight sellouts here in Athens.
And they've been excited all week. They were hanging outside the hotel where we were staying at, and we got to change our quarterback.
Yeah, this is Carlos Del Rio Wilson, the 5th-year senior we told you about, transfer from Syracuse, began his career at Florida. Entering fall camp, he was viewed as the presumptive starter. Hands it off to Joe Shot Barbie, who gets chopped down by Chris Cole. Now, this is interesting. Tony Gibson did say to us that even if he likes what he's seeing from Ja'Kai Long, he would be quick to go to Carlos Del Rio Wilson because they don't want to shatter the confidence of Long against a top 5 opponent in his collegiate debut.
Yeah, collegiate debut, your first time you go to Georgia, at Georgia, game number 1. You got to have someone with a little bit of experience. And Carlos Del Rio Wilson told us, he says, whatever my role is, I just take it day by day, snap by snap.
On the ground again, but barely back to the line of scrimmage before Xavier McLeod's in on the tackle. And there was so much thought that Carlos Del Rio Wilson would be the starter of this team. That's what Tony Gibson had said coming out of spring ball as well. And the guy has starting experience. A couple of starts in his time at Syracuse. Long journey for him. Tons of coaching changes at both Florida and Syracuse before now at Marshall. The Herd 0 of 4 on 3rd downs in this game so far.
Dog showing pressure.
And Del Rio Wilson takes off. This is what he can do with his legs. Takes it for a first down. Kyron Jones on the stop, but there is a penalty marker down.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 74 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot for the replay of 3rd down.
It's the left tackle, Tyler McDuffie. It's 6'9", 358 pounds, 14 yards wiped away.
Yeah, I think they want to get him a little bit more on the line of scrimmage right there, only because he's got too much of a head start on the defensive line. What was a great play for Marshall now turned into a penalty, backs him up 5 yards.
Well, you can understand wanting to cheat going up against a vaunted front 7 of Georgia. So now 3rd down and 15 for a Marshall offense that has not been able to move the football. Easy screen, and that's incomplete. Intended for Xavier Short, the transfer from App State. 4th and long, and another punt coming for Marshall.
Yeah, just nothing going the Marshall way right now. Mike, they're just trying to get positive plays, a couple of little layups, plays that can get you into positive yards, positive downs and distance. But they've been playing behind the chains, and a lot of it is because it's Georgia defense. They come at you in waves, and you can see the depth so far. We've seen multiple groups go in and out for the Georgia defense.
Totten gets it away this time. A low spiraling kick that bounces past Zachariah Branch. Scoops it just outside the 25. And Branch gets back some of that yardage. A late flag comes in near midfield as well.
During the return, holding on the receiving team, number 33. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
7 to go until halftime, and Kirby Smart's Dogs are rolling in their opener.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. He shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
Popeye's wings got better.
Now available in spicy and mild, sauced and dry rub, bone in and boneless. With Popeye's wings, you can enjoy bold flavor while controlling the heat.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
What is
and Clemson. Tomorrow, South Carolina against Virginia Tech, and then Notre Dame against Carson Beck and Miami. Monday night, don't forget, Bill Belichick debuts with North Carolina, hosting TCU, and every game also available on the ESPN app.
Yeah, oh man, I can't wait. Klubnik, Nussmeier, woo, we got some quarterbacking today, baby. I love it.
Georgia back with it, and it's a flip for Dylan Bell, and he gets dropped for a big loss. Cam Smith strung it out. Well, Gunnar Stockton has looked very comfortable at the controls here offensively. And how fun was it getting to know him yesterday? From tiny Tiger, Georgia, not even 500 people. His older sister named Georgia, and he's become famous with the folklore of his 1984 truck from his grandfather. 300,000 miles on it, and yes, he's got 4 cows as well back home.
Man, what a great time sitting down with him. He is all about business. He is all about ball. And just talking with him, the moment is not too big for him. You saw that last year going in the conference championship game, the SEC championship game, holding on to win that one. Then he starts in the Sugar Bowl. And all he's talking about all off season is just about that car right there, that suite right there. It says his grandfather's truck. I said, hey, Grandpa, what you doing with that? He said, just sing. He said, can I put it together? He put it back together. And now he said it's one of his babies. F-150, old school right there. I know you got one of those, Mike.
Of course. I love the 80s, I'm told. Javay Gilmore was dinged up on the play. He headed off for Marshall. London Humphreys on the screen gets it past the 25. He picks up a couple before he was brought down by Caleb Clark-Glover, and third down coming up for Georgia.
And this is where Georgia does not want to be in this situation throughout the season. They want to play ahead of the sticks, ahead of the chains. I mean, they want to get in the third and manageable. They don't want to be in this third and long. This is the first opportunity for Mike Bobo's offense. See what they do here. Do they put the ball in the air, or do they try to run it?
3 for 6 so far on third downs, and Stockton with plenty of time across the middle, tipped in the air and nearly intercepted. Jabril Al-Amin got a piece of it, and it hung up there for the Thundering Herd defense.
Yeah, but it was great protection up front, but watch Al-Amin just comes through, and that left hand, nice job. He get the right hand, actually. Ooh, he was right. I thought he was get the left hand up. He got the right hand up and almost was intercepted. Great protection by Georgia up front. It was an outstanding defensive play.
Well, the first 3 and out for Georgia in this first half as Drew Miller back on the field. It's a booming punt away. Handled at the 20. And Boogie Trotter, rather Floyd Lacey, gets dropped right around the 25. Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow is the series finale. Matt Olson and the Braves go up against Bryce Harper and the Phillies. 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio, with our coverage starting at 6 Eastern with Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. With Kirk Morrison and Don Davenport and our entire crew, Mike Monaco with you, with inside of 6 minutes to go in this first half. And Carlos Del Rio Wilson back out for a second straight possession for this Marshall offense. All 6 Marshall drives have started inside the 25. Justin Williams-Thomas gets a flip. The Cal transfer gets stacked up after a couple by Raylan Wilson, junior inside linebacker, former top 15 recruit.
Think about this, Mike. 76 new players on this Marshall football team. That's 76 new guys. They're learning each other just as much as the coaching staff is learning them. So this is a great opportunity for them just to see where they are. And to go up against an opponent like Georgia, look, unfortunately they haven't got off to the start that they wanted to, but I'm intrigued by how they finish this half, see if they can get some points.
Del Rio Wilson pulled it, and he gets chopped down at the ankles back at the 25. It's a loss of a yard. Braylon Wilson in on another stop, third down coming. Yeah, how about all these transfers for Marshall? Tony Gibson said to us he was worried they weren't even going to be able to have spring ball.
Yeah. I mean, watching them all week long, I thought I was watching a college all-star game with so many different players from other schools coming along. I'm trying to grab film from all over the place, so they're putting this thing together. But they said they got the right guys that want to be at Marshall. Now they just got to bring the practice to the field.
On third down, Del Rio Wilson fires toward the sideline. There's a flag down as Jacoby Baldwin made the catch, and we'll check the marker back near the line of scrimmage. We got an injured Marshall player down as well. It's the right guard, Jalen Slappy, Richard Jr. captain. It's the last guy on the offensive line that Marshall wants to see down.
I think they get the right tackle
Illegal
here.
Formation on the offense. Number 76 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. That penalty has been declined. It's fourth down.
But you called it, yeah, it's Tariq Montgomery, the right tackle.
Yeah, I see offensive linemen in the NFL sometimes try to get away with this. But remember, the helmet of the other offensive lineman must break the waist of the center. So
For
these
Georgia,
tackles are
number
kind
9
of
is now
cheating
number
back
22.
just a little bit.
9 is 22.
Usually you look at the official, they give you a warning, but sometimes these tackles right now lining up almost a full yard behind the center.
See, Jacoby White-Helton is now back deep after Zachariah Branch had let that one bounce and then fielded it. 6 drives, 5 3-and-outs for Marshall, and a poor kick from Totten spins and bounces just outside the 30, where it's down by the herd. Now, quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa.
For Georgia, number 42.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
If you're just joining us, this Georgia team ranked 5th in the country after last year, 3-loss season, reached the college football playoff quarterfinals, lost against Notre Dame without Carson Beck able to play in that game. Gunnar Stockton, the new QB1 for Kirby Smart and Kirk. The offense looked really good.
Yeah, it's looked good. They ran the football well. They see this ball get down the field maybe here in this 4-minute offense, but a lot of positives to draw so far in this first half for Georgia.
Nate Frazier follows Ethan Barmore and gets to the second level. Past the 40, it's a dozen for Nate Frazier on the ground.
Yeah, these backs, they understand. I don't know when you're going to get your next opportunity, so they're making those opportunities count. Watch the block by Barmore. He leads up, just gives us a little bit. Didn't get a piece of the defender, but he got in the way. And Frazier, that's all he needs. He needs just a lane, and the north and south runner gets a first down.
Mike Bobo told us that Frazier's understanding of the offense has really increased. Of course, Trevor Etienne now gone. Chauncey Bowens now cannot escape Boogie Trotter. Nice job by the senior corner, the Tennessee State transfer where he played for Eddie George.
Yeah, I love Boogie Trotter, right? He talked about I always want to play up. He played on the FCS level. Made the FCS playoffs a year ago, but watch him from the right side, from the left side. He comes up. He's the only guy. He gets that outside foot on the tackle. That's a nice job by Trotter. You can get up and celebrate on that one. That's a huge tackle.
Frazier back in there and runs into a sea of Kelly Green. Back to the line of scrimmage for no gain, and third down coming up for Georgia.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum there, right? This 3-3-5 defense of Shannon Morrison and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Just trying to make plays, show some consistency. It's going to be a long, long season. They knew that going against the top 5 team in Georgia early on, how would they stand? They get to a 3rd and long here, see if they can get off the field.
Got to look at Shannon Morrison, whose defense has performed better here in this second quarter than the first. Pressure comes. Stockton Stockton stands in, and a wobbler soars incomplete. Fourth down coming up as Tony Gibson and Shannon Morrison dialed up pressure with Paul Hudson in pursuit.
Yeah, that was just a nice job right through the middle. Just kind of just swimming and finding ways to make a play right through the middle of that defense. I think it was Weiss over there. He's trying to make some plays. That's an outstanding job by this defense. Paul Hudson, third. You mentioned it. Just get swimming through and making Stockton have to get rid of the football a little soon.
Miller gets this one away toward Floyd Lacey. And that will bound down toward the 15. Takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Georgia up 21, the number 5 team in the country at home in Athens in the opener.
State looks like a completely different ball club already. They've got Alabama early on. I'm trying to keep E.J. Manuel less excited. It's going to be fun. Plus, Arch Sadness today. We'll have highlights of that coming up.
Matt, thank you. Yeah, a lot to unpack. Arch Manning's debut as the true QB1 for Texas did not go as planned. We get a timeout taken here by Georgia there first. Tommy Castellanos is looking good in the first half. But meantime, what were the expectations for Stockton and Manning? A couple of guys taking over as their starters.
Well, I think the hype behind Arch Manning, it started a long time ago, right? Obviously, when Quinn Ewers decided to go to the NFL, the Arch Manning era started at Texas. So a lot of focus was on this first game today. Look, he's got a long career ahead of him. I know everybody's already projecting him to go to the NFL. Hey, the guy's got to play football first. So his first game, look, they lose to Ohio State. That's a really good football team on the opposite side. And then opposite that, Gunnar Stockton today kind of just showing, hey, his first game as a full-time starter so far has been impressive. It's a lot of football ahead for this season, Mike. It's only game number 1.
And here in Athens, Carlos Del Rio Wilson still in, and he tucked it with nowhere to go. He loses a yard. Elo Mendozi, the Army transfer, in on the stop. And Kirby Smart will take a second timeout with still 1:49 to go. We talked about Arch, and on the other side, Gunnar Stockton. And if you need a reminder on how we got here with Stockton taking over, let's go back to the SEC championship game. Final play of the first half. Carson Beck suffers that elbow injury on the final play. Gunnar Stockton takes over, leads the team down the field. They end up winning it in overtime. Remember, you'll see here, Carson Beck came back in, dangling arm and all, for the final handoff for the Dogs.
Yeah, we talked about that moment yesterday with the coaching staff, right? And that's the first question I asked Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator. I say, what did you say to Gunnar Stockton at halftime of that game? I didn't have to say anything. I said, Kirby Smart walked in and said, hey, everybody, Gunnar Stockton's our quarterback. And the guys cheered. They roared. They understood that, hey, they were fine with Gunnar Stockton coming in. They went on and win that football game and win another SEC title. But that's how confident they are in Gunnar Stockton.
Now on third down, Del Rio Wilson stays on his feet, slips a tackler and has it close to the sticks. Looks like he's just short by about half a yard. And Georgia will take its third timeout with Chris Cole in on the stop.
Yeah, he's just trying to find a window that's open. It's like every door is closed. I got to find a way. You ever been in one of those mazes, Mike, where you're just trying to find the right way to get through? Well, he found a way, but just short of the first down.
So 1:38 to go. Georgia out of timeouts. Hey, we cap off our stellar Labor Day weekend college football lineup with ESPN coverage of Bill Belichick and North Carolina hosting TCU Monday, 8 Eastern, and also available streaming on the new and improved ESPN app.
You ready?
Expectations for Chapel Bill? What do you got?
Chapel Bill or the Billustrator? That's another one that they're using. The expectations of, I think this team is going to be well coached. And when I say well coached, it's the little things. Situational football. No penalties, right? They're going to be coached up in every aspect of this football game. So excited to see what Bill Belichick brings to the college ranks as the head coach over at North Carolina.
You good with this choice? 4th and 1, deep in your own territory, offense still out there?
Not really. I'm probably putting this football away. You don't want to give Georgia any extra points going into the half. Maybe this is trying to pull Georgia off sides. I don't know.
To review the line to gain to see if it was made. Plays now under video review.
Well, they took some extra time to think about it, and they are going to review it after all, and we'll see what the spot is on Carlos Del Rio Wilson sifting.
Yeah, but my first look at it, I thought he was probably about a half yard short. I don't think he had the line to gain. We'll see. This would be huge to do get the first down, right? Positive for Marshall moving forward. So looking at the line to gain. He may have just a bit. Just where's that knee? Does the ball get to that first down marker when that knee touches to the ground?
And again, we don't have the standard of confirmed or stands now. It's either upheld or overturned. Let's hear from Lee Heather.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It is fourth down.
In the end, they go look at it after a lot of consternation, and it remains fourth down. And again, here, you think they still keep the offense out there?
No, I think you punt the football. I don't know if you keep the offense out.
Well, they run out Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Again, you're down by 21 here. Trying to get anything going in a first half in which 23 plays, 41 total yards of offense for this entirely new Marshall program.
Yeah, I don't like the call here. Their defense has been playing great the last two series, so I think they're maybe just trying to pull the dogs offside, especially with 3 timeouts in their holster. Just trying to pull Georgia offsides when they call timeout.
And exactly that from Tony Gibson.
First charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, your defense is playing pretty good last couple series, right? Forced some punts. And so I don't know if I want to put, Georgia in a situation if they're, a short field getting points right before the half.
Well, Tony Gibson, in his first game as a head coach, it's been a long time coming for him. He's from the small coal mining town of Van, West Virginia. He told us his graduating class was either 81 or 82 people. He said that was one of the biggest classes ever. He said lots of mountains, wild boars, and snakes. He said everything you'd envision in the hills of West Virginia. And man, he is happy to be back in his home state and leading this Marshall program after a lot of good years as a defensive coordinator, most recently at NC State with Dave Dorn.
Yeah, look, a lot of people were after him. It wasn't just Marshall. There were other opportunities for Coach Gibson as well, but it was just something about heading home to West Virginia that got his attention.
Zachariah Branch backpedals to the 20. And the USC transfer cuts it upfield and picks up about 10 out to the 30. So Kirby Smart used all 3 of his timeouts, and that leaves 1:27 left for this offense before halftime. And you mentioned Marshall's defense has been better here recently. Kirby Smart frustrated with probably what his offense has done since those first 2 drives.
Yeah, I think, look, this is an opportunity to kind of wipe all that away. They ran the football well, but this is a great opportunity to get a 2-minute situation in. You kind of simulate this at practice, but college football, there is no preseason. So this is a valuable time here with 1:27 left, no timeouts. If Georgia can try to even get a field goal, that'd be something great to move forward and talk about at half and gain some of this momentum back.
Georgia's first 2 drives, each at least 70 yards, with Gunnar Stockton at the controls. But the production has dried up since. Stockton checks it down for Cash Jones, the 5th-year senior, and that's what he does. He gets popped out near midfield after 13 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Gunnar Stockton doesn't get greedy. He takes the check down, gets a positive gain.
Again, no timeouts at Stockton's disposal. Quick one toward the sideline, caught there by Colby Young. 5th-year senior wrapped up by Boogie Trotter. Young back after the suspension away from the team last year. And that is Boogie Trotter, who is down for Marshall, the senior corner.
And I don't want to speculate anything. I'm trying not to up here, but when he points over there at that, That's a cramp. It's very hot. It's humid
There's
down there on that field.
On the field for a player injury. Players on the defense. Georgia has elected to decline the 10-second runoff. Therefore, the game clock will start on the snap.
Yeah, just being down there, early September games was the first thing we talked about this morning, Mike. I said, hey, conditioning and weather. We always forget about it. Me as a former player, you hydrate, but you don't, am I hydrated enough? And you get out there on the football field and you're exerting yourself a lot more than you did in practice. And that, to me, looks to be a cramp as he keeps trying to stretch it out, and he'll go get some fluids over there on the sideline.
You see Trotter trying to jog it off for Marshall. So one of their top 2 corners exits with Georgia at its own 49-yard line. Second down coming up, and still plenty of time to work with here before halftime.
Yeah, but I want to see Kobe Young get out of bounds on that one, too. Had an opportunity, catch, get out of bounds, save some of that clock.
Stockton fires for Lawson Lucky, and that moves the sticks. Jabril Alameen on the stop after 6 yards.
Got to get everybody lined back up.
Stockton with all day. Lofts one for Lucky, who drew a flag. Caleb Clark Glover got handsy as Lawson Lucky worked behind him.
The pass being thrown, holding on the defense, number 26. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot, and it carries an automatic first down.
Yeah, I love Gunnar Stockton knowing he's got a mismatch there. Look, Lawson Lucky goes 6'4", 240. Caleb Clark Glover goes 5'9". I've got a height advantage, and that time that's all Glover could do was hold the tight end Lucky, who had a couple steps on him.
There's more of the move around type of tight end between him and Oscar Delp, who's a great point of attack blocker, can catch the ball as well. And Stockton and Georgia on the move. 50 seconds to work with from the 35. Against a 3-man rush. Down the sideline and incomplete. Intended for Noah Thomas. Tayshawn Jeter in coverage, stepping in for Boogie Trotter. And it's second down.
Yeah, Noah Thomas just got to run. He's just got to run. He's looking back for the football the entire time. If he just runs to the pylon, that ball's going to fall in his arms. See, he's just looking back. If he's running, that ball falls right in his arms. Just trying to get that chemistry. He's one of those guys we talked about earlier on, Mike. Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas, 2 guys out of the portal. Yes, Georgia went in the portal and stocked up on wide receivers.
Thomas from Texas A&M. Stockton steps up. He's got green grass, and Stockton run out of bounds by Cannon Lewis. Stockton effective with his legs. It's 10 and a first down.
Just a heady play. Racing to that sideline, knowing he's trying to preserve time. No timeouts. He sees that everything's well covered. Get the positive yards and get out of bounds.
That's one of the big things Kirby Smart said to us. Scrambled decision making for Gunnar Stockton. Situational football. That was one of the biggest areas they wanted to see growth in from Stockton headed into this season. Still 38 seconds to work with for the Bulldogs. Branch had it broken up across the middle. Daytwan Smith, the 5th-year senior safety in coverage.
Yeah, just watch the eyes of Stockton. He just stares down Zachariah Branch. It's pretty easy. The safety's like, hey, if you're going to stare him down, I'm just going to break on the football. It's a nice job there by Daytwan Smith. Knocking that ball away.
He's one of the rare returning players actually entered the portal but chose to come back to Huntington, West Virginia. Second down, 34 seconds for Stockton in Georgia. Just a 3-man rush. Jones out of the backfield. Dropped the football. Picked up by Marshall. Jabril Alameen forced it out. And Tayshawn Jeter runs it back into plus territory.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Yeah, I think they may rule this one dead. They have to take another look at this one. I don't believe he had possession of the football, Mike. It's Cash Jones. I don't know if he had full possession. Never brought it into his body, I thought. Ball was moving. I don't know if he had possession of that one. They will have to take another look at that one. I just don't know if I saw possession all the way through before it was knocked out of his hands.
Well, let's see what Jerry McGinn thinks of this as well. Jerry, what do you see in terms of Cash Jones turning on a catch and run?
Yeah, I agree with Kurt that the ruling on the field is a catch fumble, but I don't believe that he has full control of the ball, and it's going to be overturned to an incomplete pass.
The ruling on the field is a catch followed by a fumble recovered by the defense. That play is now under video review.
So you guys are in agreement. Jerry, what is the standard in terms of making a football move if you're Cash Jones, a catch? What does it need to be from him for it to be then a fumble?
Yeah, Mike, first they need a firm grip and control, a body part down in bounds, which he does have, but then enough he has to have control of it to perform in that comment to the game. And I believe that the ball was still moving in his arms. He didn't have full control of it.
Yeah, that's what I agree with you on that one. He never maintained control of the ball long enough to truly perform an act common to the game. And it happened. It was a bang-bang play. And that's why I believe that they'll overturn this call of a catch and a fumble. I just never saw full, firm control to confirm it as a catch. Or uphold it as a catch.
On the field, the officials... On the field, the officials are going to do exactly what they're going to leave it go and then have a replay take a look at it, because it is, as you said, a bang-bang play.
See Tony Gibson waiting with all of you for the answer. What would be a big takeaway for Marshall, and even with just 24 seconds left, takeaway plus territory for him if indeed this is reversed.
An incomplete pass. It will be third down from the 25-yard line. Timer. Please reset the game clock to 32 seconds. 3-2.
All right, so good call by both of you. And again, the letter of the law, to secure firm control with the hands or arms and then maintain control of the ball long enough, like you said, to perform an act common to the game. That feels right to you.
Yeah, it felt right. Coach Gibson's like, we're just trying to get a break here. Just trying to find a play to spark something for that defense, but just never saw firm control.
So you put 32 seconds on the clock. Tayshaun Jeter loses the takeaway, forced by Jabril Alameen. And now you still got some time here. It is third down for Georgia. And 3 straight incompletions now for Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, interesting what they do here. 32 seconds left. I'm telling my field goal unit, get ready. If this is a ball that's caught inbounds, you got to have your field goal unit ready, because there are no timeouts for Georgia.
Stockton on third down. He loads it up, batted ball, and nearly intercepted. Javay Gilmore could not squeeze it for Marshall, and it's fourth down, and the field goal unit comes out.
Yeah, it was just a nice rush up top on the left side of the screen, just getting a hand up. I thought it was Brayton Ward. Haven't talked a lot about him, but the nice rush, get the left hand out. And that's the second pass that we've seen tipped of Gunnar Stockton. It almost resulted in a touchdown.
This is the second
interception.
timeout of the half, and this will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, Tony Gibson will use a timeout right here with 28 seconds to go before Peyton Woodring comes out for the point after. So 21-0. Georgia, number 5 team in the country, is up here on Marshall. We welcome you back upstairs here at Sanford Stadium. Kirk Morrison, Mike Monaco with you, Don Davenport down on the field. How would you assess what you've seen from Georgia? Because it was a great start offensively, but it has dried up.
Well, it's all about the running game. And to get this game started, we saw multiple running backs, but also the quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, really took over that first quarter and the early part of the second quarter. Offense has kind of hit a snag a little bit in the second quarter right before the halftime, but that was a positive drive there. They had a 2-minute drive, Mike, no timeouts, and now they got an opportunity to kick a field goal. So they didn't get the drives that they wanted, but that's a positive drive at the end of the half, maybe, to get points.
You see Peyton Woodring's success last year, preseason second-team All-American from 43 yards, and it is good. So 24-0 is the Georgia lead. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. Well, it's been all Georgia so far.
I don't think you understand how valuable that is. See, Kirby Smart talking to Gunnar Stockton right now. That's valuable coaching moments right now because you don't get that. You try to simulate it at practice and, hey, guys, guess what? No timeouts, and we're trying to score right before half, and you do it, but it's not to the simulation of going against a defense that doesn't know the personnel. That's what Marshall did right there. Just a positive drive for Georgia, and they get the ball to start the second half as well. So a positive drive to get maybe a 2-for-1 situation.
Xavier Turner Bradshaw takes it out of the end zone. And with a cut, he gets dropped shy of the 20. So 20 seconds remaining. Marshall with one timeout that will likely take this to halftime. Marshall side of things, so many new faces, Kirk. How would you assess what you've seen from them the first half?
Well, they're just trying to put a drive together, honestly. It's been kind of 2 steps forward and 1 step back, right, Mike? They've had some procedural penalties, things they got to get cleaned up. Getting guys lined up on the line of scrimmage offensively. The running game has just not been there. Does a nice job by this Georgia defensive front. But maybe they got to find some ways to push the ball down the field, Mike, in the second half.
And all those new faces for Tony Gibson. He sends back Ja'Kai Long to drop down to a knee, and that will send us to halftime. Playoff team last year here in Athens for Kirby Smart, preseason number 5. And they've got a 24-0 lead on Marshall. Time now for the halftime report with Joey Galloway and E.J. Manuel in the studio. Here's Matt Barrett.
It's the end of the first half.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Back in Georgia on a beautiful day in Athens, and the number 5 team in the country, Georgia, is up 24-0 on New Look Marshall. As we welcome you back, Kirk Morrison, Mike Monaco with you. We'll hear from Don Davenport in a moment. Kirby Smart told us yesterday the theme with his team today is first impressions.
Right.
What's the first impression in that first half?
This is going to be a team that's led by its offense and its running game. And they have a quarterback who, Gunnar Stockton, to me, showed more experience than I would have expected. A guy who's really a first-year starter has shown that he can get it done with his legs in this running game. Now, they'll develop this passing game, these new receivers, but impressed of how they dominated the line of scrimmage, especially in their rushing attack.
Marshall gets it away for a touchback. And let's sum up what the first half looked like for Georgia, who got off to a really good start with 2 long drives down the field.
Yeah, and a lot of it was on the legs of their quarterback, just making guys miss. Everybody just focusing in on the running game in terms of the interior rush. But no one accounted for the quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, who went in and made some plays with his legs. He used his arm when needed. That's Zachariah Branch a little bit earlier. And then to me, defensively, they've just been sticky all over, just outstanding coverage. And then the special teams aspect making the play also, Mike.
5 TFLs for the Georgia defense. On offense to start, this is Dwight Phillips Jr. with a chunk play, and the football was punched out by Cam Smith. Fortuitous for Phillips in Georgia. Went out of bounds after a rumble of 22. And there's a Marshall player down on the field as well. And it looks like Cam Smith, who had punched it out. All kinds of frustrated.
It's nice blocking up front, get to the outside. It was just late at the end. The ball's popped out.
Smith, who had the chase down punch on it on Dwight Phillips, trying to see what happened to him as well. Makes contact with his own teammate, looked like Javay Gilmore, and then Smith is able to jog off the field.
Yeah, pretty quickly as well. I wonder if this is also a cramp situation as well, Mike.
Sure looks like
it. Looks like a cramp. Oh my God. It's week 1 in college football. You will see this a lot.
So Phillips comes out after the fumble, and a play fake for Chauncey Bowens. Stockton will tuck it, directing Barbour, and he got hit. right at the 50 as well. Caleb Clark Glover came in on the tackle on the run of 6.
You love the pocket awareness, but job getting down.
Check in with Don.
Guys, Georgia head coach Kirby Smart very short after the half once he came out of the locker room, asked him how he would assess Gunnar Stockton's play in that first half. He said he was great, he was good, he did everything we asked him for. I'm going to watch. That's what we got out of Kirby so far. I did see some frustration from Gunnar Stockton, though, on the sideline after 2 of those drives in the first half. We'll see what they can put together on this drive.
All right, Don, it's a handoff there to Chauncey Bowens. First down pickup for Georgia. So great, good, and Kirby Smart going to watch Gunnar Stockton with all of us.
Yeah, I think that's one of those situations. If you're a head coach, how is my quarterback going to respond, right? It's his team now. This is Gunnar Stockton's football team. But to me, I thought the first half showed a lot of what this Georgia team can be this season.
Dwight Phillips comes back in. Stockton fakes the swing and now does go to Zachariah Branch. Turns the corner. Branch up to the races. Gone for 6 from 47 yards out. Welcome to Athens.
Now I want you to watch Zachariah Branch here. He's just going to come right here, and then he's a check down. He's the last option on this play. But watch the pursuit angles of everybody. You can't catch him. He's just a speed guy. Look at all the white shirts trying to go grab him. That's just track speed. This is what this offense has been missing. They've been missing a player like Zachariah Branch. He told us yesterday, Mike, I can't wait to show you. Well, he showed us on that one, Mike. That's that world-class speed of Zachariah Branch.
Couple of big plays on the drive. The 18-yard rush from Phillips and then 47-yard catch and run for the USC transfer, the pride of Las Vegas, Zachariah Branch.
Oh, my God. You just throw a check down, and the check down goes all the way for a touchdown. Zachariah Branch. Dogs up 31.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Tell me, just who do you think you are?
Lease the 2025 Tiguan S for $299 a month. Limited inventory available.
Week 1 college football, an awesome 5-day slate here on our ESPN family of networks. And Zachariah Branch and Georgia up 31-0 on Marshall. Hayden Woodring sends one for a touchback. We take a look at today's Players Spotlight, brought to you by Cintas. So Branch, the USC transfer, was the number 7 recruit, 2 spots behind Arch Manning. Freshman year, Caleb Williams, his quarterback, and Kirby Smart said to us yesterday, he's been their most consistent wide receiver, and we got to get him a lot of touches.
Yeah, you got to find ways to just get him the football, put the ball in his hands, because when you put the ball in his hands, good things happen. I mean, this is a check down play behind the line of scrimmage, and the world-class speed of Zachariah Branch gets to the outside, and there's just no one that can catch him. There's no one that can catch Zachariah Branch in the open field.
Only had 1 touchdown last year at USC. Marshall goes back to the redshirt freshman Ja'Kai Long at quarterback, and he slips one out for Joshawn Barbie with wiggle to the edge, and he runs it past the 40. Nice pickup for Ja'Kai Long to try to get him into the second half of his college debut.
And I think that's what was talked about at halftime, Mike. Just getting him on the move a little bit, letting him see the defenders in front, and giving him the option that if it's not there to take off and run. But if you find a positive play, get the ball out of your hands quickly, even if it's a check down. That's what they did on first down.
Braylon Braxton last year at quarterback 7-0, but he went with Charles Huff to Southern Miss. Flag down. This will run off the right side for Antoine Roberts, back this year from a torn ACL. It's a pickup of 1, and we'll check the flag with Lee Hedrick leading
Illegal
the SEC
formation on the offense. Number 74 was not on the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty with a replay of first down.
Third time that's been the case overall for one of Tony Gibson's tackles, the second here from Tyler McDuffie.
Let me just draw this line right here. That's about as straight as I can get. He needs to be up here. He needs to be up here. We keep talking about it. They're going to keep calling this over and over again. These tackles, Tyler McDuffie, 74, he's got to get up and break the waist of the center. I see some frustration right there by McDuffie, but they've been consistent in calling that all game long for Marshall, and they still haven't fixed the problem.
Saw it in the past in the NFL with the Chiefs offensive lineman, Jawad Taylor, you might remember at the outset of the last season. Tony Gibson had said to us, I just don't want to be sloppy in this opener with all these new faces. It has been at times offensively. Long, flush from the pocket, and Long will just get rid of it. And second down and Long coming up with Quintavious Johnson in pursuit.
Yeah, one thing about Ja'Kai Long is that he's going to learn. It's got to be quick. If you're playing against this Georgia defense, you don't have time to get through your progressions from progression 1 to 2 to 3. It's either 1, 2, and then you've got to take off and go. If you expect to hold that ball that long, the defense is going to come bearing down on you.
Rod Smith, the offensive coordinator, has been telling Ja'Kai Long, you can't play for me and take untimed SAT and ACC tests. On the ground here, Roberts off the left side, and he gets dropped for a loss of 1. Gabe Harris makes plays. He brings up third down. This is a guy that maybe made the most plays on the defense through fall camp, according to Kirby Smart.
Yeah, it's just a team defense. I've loved this team. Watch on the right side, too. Aguero comes up as well, number 8. This has been a great team defense by Glenn Schumann and his bunch. Glenn Schumann's down there on the sideline, the defensive coordinator, and he's excited because he wanted to see his guys go out and tackle. They didn't get a lot of live reps. They did, a little bit of live here and there, but they've tackled well today so far, this Georgia defense, now here on third down.
6 TFLs, and now third and long. Long floats it, and not on the same page with his wideout, and it brings up fourth down. Jacoby Baldwin, the NC State transfer, had pulled up. Long sailed it, and Glenn Schumann's defense forces another Marshall punt.
Yeah, you get a 3rd and 16. There's just not a lot of options for an offense, especially the way that Georgia rushes the passer.
Number 42. 9 is 42.
They're 0 of 8 today on third down, and 3rd and 16. You're just putting your team back. That's how crucial that penalty was, Mike. Just a procedure thing that they're going to have to clean up if you're Marshall. Getting and lining up correctly on the line of scrimmage. Force the 3 and out.
Zachariah Branch takes it inside the 30 and pulls up. Zachariah Branch reaching down toward his left foot. And hopefully he's all right.
Yeah. I hope so as well, Mike. Mr. Crimp, there it is again. You got to hydrate.
Number 42 for Georgia is now number 9.
Well, when we come back, what in the world is this? Tell you about Between the Hedges in Athens.
For one pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Mazda gives you more. More comfort. More room. More peace of mind. When you leave nothing out, there's more to move you. Discover more at the Mazda Summer Sales Event. Current inventory remains unaffected by new tariffs.
Take advantage of one of these exceptional offers during the More to Move You sales event.
If your grandpa wears one of these, or if your wife wears this, you can count on USAA, membership for the spouses, kids, and then grandkids of those who served. Count on us. Count on USAA.
With 2 people that help to maintain these beautiful hedges, always the same height, width?
In May sometime we will cut them down to about half height just to promote growth, get more sunlight in there, and make sure the plant grows more full.
Okay, do you have a famous hedge story.
In the 96 Olympics, we had to pull the hedges in order to get to a soccer field width, which extends almost out to that wall. So the hedges were removed. Half of them were taken to a nursery in Augusta. The other half were taken to a nursery in Florida, planted in the ground. And then they were brought back after the Olympics and retransplanted back into the stadium.
So that is Detective Don, as Gunnar Stockton was flushed and threw it away, as Don does every week, teaches us something here when we're on the road.
Yeah, this was something new. It's my first time here in between the hedges, so never had a chance to be at this iconic stadium, Sanford Stadium, and been excited when I first got here just to go down and kind of walk across the field a little bit. You can feel it, the history of this program and this field, and to touch the hedges. Mark that, check that off the list.
Nick Frazier on the ground, barrels past the 30. Cannon Lewis in on the stop after 5, Don.
Yeah, Mike, Detective Don, you know, I go real deep to get the true story. So there's more to that Olympic story. When those hedges went to Florida, allegedly, it wasn't just the hedges that were moved to Florida, it was also the dirt, because the University of Georgia Bulldog hedges could not be kept in dirt from Florida. Are you kidding me? No way, Mike and Kirk. This is the SEC. It just means more.
Don, good stuff. Third down here for Gunnar Stockton, and he checks it down. Lawson Lucky right near the sticks. Going to be close, and it is enough for a first down for the Dogs.
You know, we haven't given this offensive line enough credit today, Mike. They've done a great job of opening up holes, but also giving Gunnar Stockton some time to go through his progressions and then be able to drop the football off. Look at the time he's got back there. And this is a brand new group of offensive linemen. A little bit of experience last year, a couple of starts here and there, but for the most part, this is a brand new group, and they've been doing a solid job today against a 3-3-5 defense that you typically don't see in the SEC.
The previous play is under video review.
So they'll have a look at the spot here. Call on the field was
the
that it was enough for a first down. For Lawson Lucky and Georgia on that third down hookup from Stockton to Lucky.
I thought he got enough, but, you know, in college football, once you catch the ball and you go down, right where you're at is where the ball was going to be spotted. You don't get any extra yards until you're touched, like in the NFL. So just see if he secured this football all the way through. Looks to see that ball, looks to be peeking through, Mike. All I know is I see the nose of the football. My initial look is the nose of the football seems to be pointing downward and touches the ground. I think they're going to rule this an incompletion. I never see firm control of the football, and it touches the ground.
All right, Jerry McGinn, our rules analyst, with us. What say you?
The ball can touch the ground as long as the receiver has full control of the ball. But it does appear that the ball does oscillate. So with that, I believe replay is going to overturn this.
Yeah, I agree. I never saw the full control of the ball. Like you said, Jerry, it can touch the ground, but if you've got full control, that's one thing. I don't know if I ever saw full control to let it touch the ground and still maintain the catch. So I don't think they're going to overturn this call and make it an incomplete pass. And now they've got a punt.
And if a player loses control of the ball while simultaneously touching the ground with any part of his body, it is not a catch. So it's close to the sticks anyway, and then was it a catch from Lawson Lucky? Let's hear.
After review, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be fourth down from the 35-yard line.
So Lawson Lucky frustrated.
Correct, in the 32-yard line.
And Kirby Smart will send out the punt team. Tony Gibson's defense gets a stop here early on in the second half.
That's a big stop. It's a huge stop for this defense. Finding anything positive, anything for this Marshall defense who've had their hands full.
Georgia's fourth punt of the game with Floyd Lacey back to get it from Drew Miller. Again, filling in for Brett Thorson, still coming back, trying to get cleared to tackle from his torn ACL in the SEC championship game last season. good punt again from the redshirt freshman. Lacey signals for the fair catch, a step inside the 20. Well, Marshall gets it back, just trying to grab any kind of momentum. Again, this is a team that had 10 wins last year, Sun Belt champions, but all the upheaval. Charles Huff, head coach the last 4 years. He and Marshall did not agree on a contract extension before last season, but the team went out, won the Sun Belt. Charles Huff left to go to Southern Miss, who, by the way, finished last in the conference, lost today against Mississippi State. Tony Gibson got hired from NC State, and all kinds of turnover on this team. Marshall had to opt out of its bowl game against Army. The Sun Belt actually fined Marshall $100,000. New faces all over the place. Ja'Kai Long still in there, and the redshirt freshman slings a wobbler that is dropped along the sideline by Adrian Norton, the Akron transfer.
Yeah, you got to help out your quarterback, right? We've been talking about just he's been under siege back there at the quarterback spot as Long, and you finally get an opportunity to make a play. And Adrian Norton, who just got activated last night, right? He didn't know if he was going to play today. Gets activated last night, and this one could have been his first catch as a member of the herd.
Yeah, Marshall was trying to get a waiver for him for academic reasons, so he was not on their depth chart. They got word Thursday night that he got cleared to be able to play. Here's a give up the middle to Justin Williams-Thomas, who gets a chunk of it for Marshall. Picks up 8, sets up third down and short. He's trying to find any sort of rhythm. 59 total yards of offense. And Marshall still looking for its first third down conversion as well. Pressure out the edge. It's on the ground. And Michael Allen has it very close.
Yeah, nice job by Justin Williams, number 19. Part of his rotation at linebacker for the Dogs. He comes downhill and he eliminates that play before the first down marker.
So you're short. You're in your own territory inside the 30.
Watch 19 right there in the middle, and he lays a thunder. That's a boom right there, right at the line of scrimmage.
Sophomore Justin Williams, who was top 10 recruit last year, enrolled early, and Tony Gibson's going to send the punt team out from their own territory.
Number 9 for Georgia is now number 42.
So a 7th 3 and out for Marshall. And Nathan Totten had the play clock
delay
winding
of
down.
game on the offense, 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
I know it's 31-0 and the game is essentially decided, but Tony Gibson's not going to be pleased with some of the procedural stuff and some of the sloppiness here from his offensive special teams operation. Jacoby White-Helton ready to get it from Totten. High kick, a lot of hang time, and it bounces just inside the 45, and that's where it settles for Georgia. All Dogs in Athens.
Forever. Scan or go online today.
That's Janet. The custom t-shirt company she ordered from dropped the ball, so now she's scrambling to find a shirt solution. She should have used Rush Order Tees. Don't be left scrambling like Janet. Go to rushordertees.com to get your shirt together.
Force Factor Creatine Gummies build muscle and strength, improve recovery, and boost cognitive function. Why? Force Factor Creatine Gummies contain 5 grams of clinically studied creatine monohydrate in each delicious serving. Search Amazon now for Force Factor Creatine Gummies.
Second career start today for the redshirt junior Gunnar Stockton, who always dreamt of this.
Dreamt of doing things just like this, Mike. Making plays. He's ran the ball 8 times for 69 yards. He's thrown it 12 of 22 for 164 with a throwing touchdown to Zachariah Branch. I've just been impressed of his command at the line of scrimmage. He's extended plays. Man, he led this team to a 2-minute drive to kick a field goal. Some may say it was just a field goal. I thought it was great to see him just man the offense and show that he's the guy for the job.
Hands it off to Dwight Phillips. With a good run into plus territory to the 49. Cannon Lewis on the stop. We asked Kirby Smart, what are the best traits of Gunnar Stockton? He said leadership, charisma, character, command of the offense. And I thought it was interesting. Kirby said that Gunnar Stockton has the total faith, trust, confidence of his offensive line. Those guys really in support of Gunnar Stockton. A couple of rushing touchdowns from Stockton in this game. Fires toward the sideline here, and he's got it complete to Colby Young, who breaks the tackle and barrels inside the 25.
You were screaming for Colby Young during the break, and guess what? Boom, there he is. Number 8, Colby Young, the former University of Miami wide receiver, runs a nice little out route, delivered on time. Watch before his head turns around. That ball's already delivered. That ball's already on him. That's a nice job by Colby Young, making a play. Came in a little banged up, but showing some toughness there, making a play.
Yeah, picked up an ankle injury that he was dealing with this week. But good for 25 there. Stockton turns the corner, tucks it, and he slides down at the 20. By the way, with Colby Young, last year played in just 5 games. In October, he was suspended after he got arrested. This offseason reached a plea deal and eventually fully returned to the team. 5th-year senior from Binghamton, New York. Coaching staff, a lot of praise for him. Mike Bobo said to us, he's very grateful for another chance with Georgia. On 2nd down and 6. Phillips off the left side. Slips a tackle. And Phillips takes it to set up 1st and goal. Cam Smith ran him out, and Dwight Phillips has flashed today for the Dogs.
Yeah, he's flashed, but he also got a good block, man. We talk about these tight ends. We always talk about Oscar Delp and Lucky. Watch the right side of your screen. This is the 3rd tight end, Jaden Riddell, who comes in with a nice seal that gets Phillips to the outside for the big game. When you go down 3-4 deep on the tight end chart, Mike, people don't talk enough about these tight ends that have just been paving the way for these running backs.
Chauncey Bowens tripped up. Short gain. Datewan Smith in on the stop.
And I think this is all strategy by Kirby Smart. And when I say strategy, is that this is going to be running back by committee. So if you notice, every time a back goes in the game, they're switching out backs right now. Out goes Bowens, in comes Nate Frazier. The competition at running back, who's going to be the lead guy? You're running as if this may be your only time to carry the football. So this competition at running back, I think we'll see this throughout the season. Everybody just running hard to make sure they earn more carries.
Nate Frazier checks back in. And Frazier gets it on 2nd down, and he pushes the pile to about the 4. And Mike Bobo said to us yesterday, one thing with his offense, he said, we've got to run the ball better. Said everything starts with the run game. That's been the emphasis since Georgia got back from the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, it looked like they're getting some of those dirty yards that he talked about, just downhill. You get inside the 10-yard line and you want to run the football. It's no misdirection. It is all downhill runs. And we've seen plenty of those today.
Cash Jones checks in on a 3rd down and goal. And Tony Gibson came onto the field and will take a timeout for Marshall.
This is their first charge timeout of the half.
Well, this is what Mike Bobo talked about. And he's been preaching this all offseason.
This will be a 30-second
It's got to be the run game for him. He said this early on in camp, that everything starts with the run game. Any level, that's what it's got to be, and that's been the emphasis all along.
Well, when I started my week of prep on the Georgia Bulldogs, the first thing I said was, where was this team at last year in rushing in the SEC? They were 15th. I was like, wait, Georgia football is 15th in rushing yards per game? That can't be right. And it actually was fact. And obviously this year it's been a point of emphasis that the Dogs got to run the ball. And we've seen that throughout this game.
Kirk and Mike, they're doing it on this drive with some backup offensive linemen, and the starters right now out. Drew Bobo, Micah Morris. Now, of course, we saw Juan Gaston injured earlier in the first half. He went into the locker room and never came back. And then Ernest Green also done for the day with a leg injury.
So health's going to be paramount. Remember, injuries on the offensive line were a part of that rushing struggles last year. Stockton on the option. He gets wrapped up immediately. Jabril Al-Amin brings up 4th down with a sturdy stop for Marshall.
Oh, what a play by Jabril Al-Amin. He feathered the quarterback a little bit. Loved it. When I say feather the quarterback, meaning he just stayed on the quarterback. He didn't jump to go take the pitch player. He stayed on the quarterback, forced Gunnar Stockton to make a decision. By the time it was too late, because Amin made the tackle.
The offense stays out there for the Bulldogs. Stockton to throw. Surveys back to the end zone. He's got London Humphreys for a touchdown.
It's just a walk in the park. Look at the protection. We talk about Don just told us they got backup offensive linemen. Well, look at the pocket he's got a chance to throw to. He just goes through his progressions. He looks right. He goes left first, comes all the way back right, and then finds an open receiver for a touchdown. That's a nice day for Gunnar Stockton, putting on a show.
He has thrown for a couple of touchdowns in addition to those 2 we showed you on the ground. And it continues to be all Georgia, who finds the junior London Humphreys from Nashville, second year after coming in from Vandy.
London Humphreys starts on the outside and just works his way all the way across that end line. And if you're going to run it and no one's going to cover you, well, that's what Gunnar Stockton does. Goes through his progression and late in the down, able to make that throw because had fantastic protection up front.
Gunnar Stockton talking through things with Kirby Smart. Gunnar was telling us yesterday from small town Tiger, Georgia. He said it's the type of place everyone knows everyone. Fridays, everyone in town is going to the high school football game. He was part of a group of 10 friends growing up. They played together from when they were 6 years old through the end of high school. Now, he's the only guy playing at the Power Conference FBS level and carrying it on for the school. He always wanted to be the starting quarterback for it.
It just seems like when you've got a game like Gunnar, like you're going to be a quarterback when you grow up, right? That's just what it is. I mean, he's got an arm. He's showing off the legs today. He's a true Georgia quarterback.
Marshall to the 25. We check in with Matt Berry in the studio.
All right, gentlemen, just a reminder, what a great day to have the new ESPN app. Here's what's going on around the country today. Alabama is in it at the Doak 24-10 over on ABC plus U.S. Open, 3rd round going on ESPN2. Gentlemen, what a great day of sport. Look at that dog. What a legend.
Is that one of Herbie's dogs running around at the U.S. Open as well?
Maybe.
And how about what Florida State's doing against Alabama and a top 10 team in year 2 under Caleb DeBoer? Tommy Castellano's backing up all the big talk he had after transferring from Boston College. Ja'Kai Long hands it off, and Justin Williams-Thomas with a burst. He carries it out to the 35. Zion Branch was there on the stop with a first down. So we mentioned Castellanos. We've talked a lot about Gunnar Stockton. You got good new quarterbacks in new places all around the country getting unveiled this weekend. Another run, and it's Justin Williams-Thomas pushing the pile out to the 38 with a gain of 3. All right, so around the country, notable programs with a new starting quarterback. Kurt, what catches your eye first?
To me, I think it's Bryce Underwood, right, at Michigan. A lot of hype coming in on Bryce Underwood. Julian Sain, we see today, got a victory over Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns. C.J. Carr, my Notre Dame guy to my left over here, Mr. Mike Monaco. We'll see what C.J. Carr can do. He takes over for Riley Leonard in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Long under pressure, tried to get it away before he went down to the ground. He was under pressure from Justin Green. They call it incompleteness. 3rd down coming up.
And that's what this conference, the SEC, is going to be about, the quarterback position. Ja'Kai Long is learning. He's learning on the run. This is part of it. You're going against an SEC dominant defense. You got to get rid of the football quickly. This defense is bearing down on you.
It did call that an incompletion as he was getting dragged down. And now pressure comes on 3rd down. Long just gets rid of it to the sideline. And Marshall comes up empty again offensively, and it's fourth down.
Number 18 was in the area. It's fourth down.
They actually blocked this pretty well, Mike, up front. They did. They had a hat for a hat. But I think for the young freshman, redshirt freshman,
number
just
9
not enough
for
answers
Georgia
for him.
is now number 42. Number 9 is 42.
So many questions at the line of scrimmage, and right now he's trying to find out where to go with the football. There's just nowhere to go.
So Kobe White-Helton is ready to get it from Nathan Totten, who's been busy for Marshall. Inside of 3 minutes to go in this third quarter at Sanford Stadium. Fair catch signal from Jacoby White-Helton at the 20. Well, our stellar SEC football lineup rolls on tonight, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, SEC Network Plus, and the all-new ESPN app. Number 18, Oklahoma hosting Illinois State. You got number 15, Florida against LIU. And then over on SEC Network, 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central. Number 21, Ole Miss hosts Georgia State.
I love that. Lagway, Pavia, Austin Simmons. That's why I did my homework this week. All these new SEC quarterbacks making their season debuts in 2025.
And speaking of new quarterbacks, Ryan Puglisi comes on for Georgia and makes his collegiate debut. Redshirt freshman from Paxton, Massachusetts. 12 in the red. Former top 150 recruit in the country you saw. And Gunnar Stockton's day is done. Chauncey Bowens gets to the second level, and he rumbles past the 40. Darryl Sweeting wraps him up, and up for 20 yards for Chauncey Bowens.
Yeah, just a nice job by the right tackle and also the right guard. Even some of these backups are now in the game, and the blocking has still been fantastic, getting Bowens out to the outside for the first down.
Puglisi checks it down, and this is Bowens. Navigates out toward the 45. They're really high on Chauncey Bowens, a guy who throughout camp, Kirby Smart was saying to us, he probably of all their running backs made the most tacklers miss. So they're expecting big things from him this year.
Yeah, it was funny that we talked to Zachariah Branch about that. Like we asked him, you know, you got a lot of guys on the team. Who do you want to see score a touchdown? He said, man, Chauncey Bowens. Want to see him score just because the hard work that he's put in, it's been noticed by his teammates.
Now Bo Walker on his first collegiate touch, the true freshman, is close to a first down. He's got enough. Native of Ellenwood, Georgia, in-state kid with two good names for an SEC running back.
And everyone is downhill. I love it. Watch when you put the foot in the ground. Everything is going forward, north and south. Nobody's east and west dancing in the backfield, Mike. That has been a point of emphasis for these running backs to get upfield.
Over 200 yards rushing for Georgia now. Puglisi had that batted down. He was looking in the vicinity of C.J. Wiley, 6'4" true freshman from Baton Rouge. Of course, one thing we haven't talked about as well this year is how the wide receiver production is. Drops. Georgia fans sick and tired of hearing about that. Huge problem last year. 30-plus drops among the top two teams in the country in drops. What have you made of their wide receiving core today?
Yeah, there was a couple drops early on, right? And so they're going to continue to keep working at it. I've said it before. We know what Zachariah Branch can do, but the other wide receivers, can they come along as well and be some threats in the passing game? Love the tight ends, but it's about this receiving core.
See those 35 last year. North Texas, a team that throws the football a ton. Only team with more drops than those 35 from the Dogs last year. So third down and 7 coming up for this Georgia offense with backups in the final minute of the third. Puglisi takes off, and Puglisi has enough with the legs for a first down. Pride of Avon Old Farms in Connecticut, Ryan Puglisi.
Yeah, it's just a design run. As soon as that back foot plants, he just takes off and runs. Love to see him cover up the football a little bit, right? Protect the ball. But Puglisi showing what he can do, taking off, making a play.
So Kirby Smart has had a lot to like from his first team offense. He's got the backups in the game right now, and we will head to the fourth quarter All Georgia, number 5 team in the country in their opener here in Athens.
Braves, Phillies, Sunday on ESPN.
You could be the most powerful suit to ever come out of Godolphin.
More powerful than Homelander. Cypher believes I'm this weapon. Let's use it to do something good. This plan is crazy, but I'm in.
Introducing Taco Bell's $3 steak burritos. From the zesty Chipotle Ranch to the indulgent cheesy melt. We call them rich, but they're just $3. New $3 steak burritos, only at Taco Bell.
People always said I could light up a room, but psoriasis stole my spark. Until I got clearer skin. With Bimzelx, I can't wait to say, I'm back.
Only Bimzelx targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. Bimzelx can deliver transformative relief.
Most people got 100% clear skin. Some after the first dose.
Serious side effects like suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or fevers, chills, muscle aches, or cough occur, or you've had a vaccine or plan to. Before starting, get checked for infections, tuberculosis, and liver problems.
Give yourself a chance to say I'm back.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx, also approved for psoriatic arthritis and HS.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. This is Kickoff Week on ESPN, presented by Modelo. Moments ago, Don Davenport with Kirby Smart.
Here with head coach Kirby Smart. Coach Gunnar Stockton's day is over. What did you like best about his performance?
His legs, his composure, his willingness to make plays with his legs, and he made some good reads and helped us out.
Other side of the ball, defensively dominating. What's been the best part of their performance?
Tackling, doing it by committee. A lot of guys playing hard, getting off the field on third downs.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Don, thank you. Yeah, so the legs really do stand out from Gunnar Stockton, whose day is indeed over. Ryan Puglisi rifles down the seam, and he's got it complete to Thomas Blackshear, true freshman from Savannah, Georgia. Picks up 15 on his first career catch.
Oh, nice job by Blackshear coming back to the football. Puglisi put a little zip on that ball, knowing that his receiver, Blackshear, was just draped over by the defensive back. Watch, nice protection again, play action. He's got a window to throw and delivers a strike for a first down.
Mike Bobo told us strong arm from Ryan Puglisi. I feel like he's got a bright future. Back to the air. Puglisi down the sideline. Touchdown. From 23 yards out, Elias Williams, the freshman tight end.
It's just talking about these tight ends, and now they get all the way down to tight end number 4, Elias Williams. All he just runs is an out and up, and nobody can just hang along with him. And that's a nice ball thrown by Puglisi as well. The run game is working, and now getting the tight ends activated in the red zone, Mike. It's a well-balanced offense by the Dogs.
Top 100 recruit Elias Williams caps off an 8-play, 80-yard drive, the longest of the day for Georgia.
Man, just an out and up. As a defender, when your receiver goes to the out, you gotta, that's your guy. So when you take your eyes off of him, what happens? Williams turns it up the field, and no one continues to run with him. And that's just a nice throw by Puglisi saying, hey, Gunnar Stockton, I want to throw a touchdown today. And now he's got one.
A lot to like for Kirby Smart. You heard him with Don. He had a ton of praise for his defense as well. A lot of bodies shuffling in. Marshall's only gained 72 total yards. I mean, we've spent a lot of time talking about Gunnar Stockton, and rightly so, but he's got to really like what the defense has done and the number of contributors today.
Well, you can tell yesterday talking to Kirby, a lot was on his mind because this may be one of his youngest teams that he's had at Georgia. You know, he's been here 10 years now, Mike, and he talked about year 1. He had his hands and imprints on everything. And now in year 10, he's kind of backed off a little bit and just watched the development of a lot of these players as they come through the program.
Connor Ferguson's kick taken out by Xavion Turner-Bradshaw, shy of the 20. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. Year 10 now, like you said, for Kirby Smart. he's had more first-round NFL draft picks than losses.
That's unreal. That's unbelievable, Mike, when you really think about it. And even last year, just a couple of losses in games, they felt like, look, we should have won. You know, like that Alabama game from last year. He's like, look, we know we're a better football team. We got to get off to a fast start. They got off to a fast start today. And could this be a precursor to what this year could be for these Dogs if they get out to a fast start, putting points on the board?
Well, Zion Turner is next up at quarterback. Third different QB we've seen from Marshall. Redshirt junior from Miami. Started his career at UConn, where he actually started as a freshman. Spits it out wide to DeAndre Tamarez, the Western Carolina transfer. Picks up 4 yards to the 20.
And we knew we were going to see all three quarterbacks today, right? Ja'Kai Long, we saw him first. And it was kind of up and down for him. Carlos Del Rio Wilson comes in. He didn't fare any better. And you go back to Long, and now Zion Turner with his opportunity, who was at Jacksonville State last year with offensive coordinator Rod Smith.
A guy who really understands the system that Rod Smith has brought. Of course, a longtime Rich Rodriguez offensive mind. Turner, quick hitter. He's got Xavion Turner Bradshaw just a couple of yards. Rayshawn Dinkins on the stop. You know, you said a lot on the mind of Kirby Smart. Georgia fans have heard plenty of this, but his buzzwords have been fire, passion, and energy. He told us, I don't know if last year's team always had that. He said with the youth of this year's team, maybe there is a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more anxiety that goes along with it, and maybe invigorating.
Well, one thing I can say is that here at Georgia, it's all about national championships now.
Turner downfield, and he's got it complete to Antonio Harmon. Big chunk play. DeMello Jones on the stop. Harmon, the Mississippi State transfer, picks up 33.
Yeah, their first big play of the day. Nice job by Harmon. Gets on the outside, double stacks. Gets a little bit of a shove at the end, but hey, both guys are engaged. But Harmon comes down with the grab.
Hadn't had a play over 15 yards before that. Turner fires toward the sideline and batted down. Dominic Kelly, the freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida, broke it up.
Yeah, that puts a smile on Kirby Smart's face.
Being forced from the previous spot with a replay of first down.
They get holding on redshirt junior Christian Richter.
Yeah, just going back to that point a minute ago, Mike, just talking about just the expectations at the University of Georgia. You mentioned this, the last 4 national titles, 2 of them were won by Georgia. And then you go 2 years without making it to a national championship game, and everybody's looking around saying, are they on the decline? That's why I think this is a very important year for the Bulldogs to kind of regain that championship fire that they had just a couple seasons ago.
Turner tucks it, gets back a lot of the penalty yardage into plus territory on a pickup of 8. Well, where do you think Georgia fits into the SEC teams, the hierarchy? You look at the SEC teams in the top 25.
Well, it's different right now because you're seeing an Alabama team struggling with an unranked Florida State team at Florida State, but they've got Texas coming to them later on in the season. They've got Ole Miss coming to them. So you've got some of your tougher games, and they're all going to come here to Athens. And so that, to me, is going to tell where this team finds its way at the end of the season.
Joshawn Barbie up the middle, stacked up after 2 yards. 3rd down and 10 coming up. And we're going to get a look at what LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, Brian Kelly's group, looks like this season. They got a big one right out of the gates coming tonight on ABC against Clemson.
And Georgia right now rotating guys, and that they'll see in a couple weeks. Right, next week is Austin Peay, but they've got a big game at Tennessee, who the Joey Aguilar era at Tennessee started off well today as they beat up on Syracuse, Tennessee.
After all the Nico Iamaleava drama. 3rd down, Turner takes a shot downfield. Xavion Turner Bradshaw goes spinning inside the 5. 44 yards down to the 1 for the son of Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yeah, that's just a nice throw. They coming back to the ball. Rashawn Dinkins, number 27, he just never located the football. If he would have located the football, would have been able to come back But nice job there, like you mentioned, by Bradshaw coming back to the ball and making a play.
Joshawn Barbie off the right side is in for a touchdown. Now there is a flag down right near the line of scrimmage.
You want to take a guess, Mike?
I don't know. You've been hot, man. Stick with it. What do we got?
Illegal formation again.
Been 3 of them already on the Marshall.
There is no foul on the play. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Joshawn Barbie is in for 6. Transfer from FCS McNeese State. And no shutout today for Georgia's defense.
Yeah, it looks like all guys were on the line of scrimmage that time, but just a nice positive run to the outside. And that's what we talked about with Barbie. They really like him. I think he's going to be their lead guy for the season. But Kirby Smart, teaching moments. These are all teaching moments in this game.
This is a significant point after to some. And this is Lorcan Quinn who comes on, 24-year-old freshman from Ireland who today is playing football for the first time. Marshall's on the board for the first time.
It's the Thundering Herd finally getting into the end zone. Some smiles finally on that sideline by the Herd. Still down 45-7. Well, I sure do. There's a lot of good football today. This is the best football weekend of the year, right? You got football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? And we go at it again next week. But I think a lot of people here in Athens are watching a score down in Tallahassee, not too far away, as the Crimson Tide and Florida State Seminoles locking horns.
Let's check in with Matt Berry in the studio.
Guys, it's the best weekend of the year in football because we get it all to ourselves. People wonder, would transfer quarterback John Mateer make a difference for Oklahoma? You bet he is. 7-0 Sooners early over Illinois State. Coming up, Cade Klubnik, just cool. Just swagger walking in for his game against LSU. Tiger v. Tiger, Death Valley, ABC tonight. And Marcel Reed, Texas A&M. Coming up here on ESPN, taking on Meet UTSA.
That walk from Klubnik is how E.J. Manuel walked into the studio earlier today. Chauncey Bowens hops out of bounds off the left side after a pickup of 3.
I got a hot take for you, Mike. I can't wait. Hot take.
Do I get it now or do I have to wait?
Well, I give it to you now. Clemson and LSU, I guarantee you the Tigers will win.
All right.
I guarantee you the Tigers are going to win in that matchup between Clemson and LSU.
That's your one dad joke of the season that I'll allow. Gunnar Stockton's day is done. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns and run for 2 more, part of 73 on the ground. Ryan Puglisi's operating the offense, and Bo Walker gets tripped up for a loss of 2. So you saw Marcel Reed coming tonight. Texas A&M will follow us. UTSA against the top 20 opponent. That should be a rocking scene at Kyle Field.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcel Reed is coming into his own as well as a quarterback. We saw some things from last year that really excite you. Had a couple of upsets, and now starting this season, kind of an underdog Texas A&M is. Can they be spoiler in this year's SEC race?
On 3rd down, Puglisi zips a dart for a first down. Sakovi White-Helton, the redshirt freshman from Cartersville, picks up a dozen.
Yeah, this is one thing about Puglisi that they love is that he can get hot. They just want it to be consistent, right? They don't want it to settle down and get lukewarm. They want his arm to stay hot and keep it going. He's a streaky quarterback, Mike, but I think in years past, you just say, oh, he's the backup, and when he gets his opportunity, he gets his opportunity. But with what happened last year with Carson Beck and Gunnar Stockton taking over at the spot last season, I think you put more emphasis on that backup quarterback spot.
Bo Walker on the ground to the 40. Kirby Smart said to us yesterday about Ryan Puglisi. Yeah, he's finally starting to get a lot of reps. And look, he's got flashes of being really good. To your point, they feel like it's been up and down, but there's plenty of talent there. And Puglisi said, I learned how to be a backup last year watching how Gunnar Stockton did it behind Carson Beck.
Yeah, that's a good quarterback room that you can draw from other guys in front of you. Now you just got to take it from the practice field over to the game.
Another handoff to Bo Walker. He gets stacked up after a yard, and it brings up 3rd down for this Georgia offense. 228 rushing yards for the Dogs today. Again, huge area of focus for them. Marched out the first 2 drives of the game and looked very sharp, with Gunnar Stockton ascending to QB1 here in Athens. Third down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Walker couldn't haul it in. They deem it a forward and incomplete pass, and it brings up 4th down. Kirby Smart up 38, still muttering.
Yeah, I'm doing some lip reading up here. He's a little upset at that one. And the reason why is because he wants perfection. He wants that same poise and fire and aggressiveness. It doesn't matter if there's time on the clock. He wants to make sure his guys are out there executing.
Have had some struggles on 3rd downs today. Only 5 of 14 converting on 3rd downs for Georgia. Floyd Lacey back deep. Drew Miller gets it away. And Lacey grabs it from the 13. And he spins out past the 25, but there is a penalty flag down. Right near where the return ended for Floyd Lacey at the 19-yard line.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask on the receiving team. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. It will be 1st down.
Georgia up big. Game 1 for Kirby Smart when we come back to Athens.
The Triple Dipper, only at Chili's, lets you build your perfect basket of 3 Chili's favorites, like the world-famous fried mozzarella you just gotta pull. Or go for Chili's legendary sweet and spicy honey chipotle crispers. Or why not pick the classic Big Mouth Bites drizzled in ranch? And of course, there's plenty of your favorite chili sauces to dip and dip and dip. Now that is one seriously good cheese pool. The Chili's Triple Dipper. Taste what all the hype's about.
Touchdown! They settle for overtime or try to beat their rival now with a 2-point attempt.
Go for it. Gotta go for those. Go for those. Go for those. Go for those.
Last season, he was questioned for settling.
Coach, why didn't you go for 2?
We're going for 2.
Grab the Dos Equis. They're going for Dos.
They got it. The risk pays off. Dos Equis. Always go for Dos.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Bro!
Popeye's a young boy, and Lee Corso was there.
Give me my first love.
There it is. Here it comes.
Great words from Kirby Smart today, celebrating Coach Lee Corso. Our hats off to him. The tux was a beautiful tux.
It was great. It was great just watching that. And, just you start your college football day off with Lee Corso, that headgear. You don't know how many times I couldn't leave the house or couldn't leave for a game until I saw the headgear. It's just part of college football tradition, and man, what a way to send Lee out the right way.
I mean, seriously, his impact on this sport and how we all consume it is as big as anyone's.
Yeah, no, clearly. Just what he brought, not just as a coach, but just his insight and just how fun, the pageantry of college football, he brought that to life. I love when he would do the James Madison games. He'd get all dressed all up, man. Those are the fun things I think about with Lee Corso. And so we wish him well in retirement, but he's so much, did what he's done so much for the game of college football.
Antoine Roberts cuts it upfield, and he gets pounded down at the 15. 3rd down coming up Well, we got U.S. Open coverage going on ESPN2, and we went to a couple of Georgia guys for their headgear picks.
I'm a Bulldog. He's a Yellow Jacket. And with that, Lee, this is for you.
Oh, it's awesome. John Isner, Chris Eubanks, two great players, Americans. John, a four-time All-American here at Georgia. Third-round coverage of the U.S. Open continues on ESPN2. Zion Turner takes off, and with his legs, he converts a first down. He's given a boost these last couple possessions to Marshall.
He's giving Coach Gibson something to think about over there on that Marshall sideline moving forward. Now I know Ja'Kai Long is who won the job out of training camp, fall camp, but now Zion Turner is showing, say, I need some more reps. Put me in the game. This offense has moved pretty smoothly with him at the helm.
Turner across the middle, and he's got it complete. Xavier Turner Bradshaw again. Well, we asked Tony Gibson what the choice was like in settling on Ja'Kai Long. Tony Gibson said to us, if I didn't start Ja'Kai Long today, I probably would have had a walkout on our team. That's how convincing it was that Long was the guy.
Yeah, so Long has shown what he can do, but now, this is real games now. And practice is one thing, but guys want to see it done in the game. And right now, Zion Turner doing a great job of moving the offense.
Antoine Roberts gets another carry back from last year's torn ACL. So all three of these guys have been in. Ja'Kai Long, the starter. Carlos Del Rio Wilson got some run in that first half. And now Zion Turner getting here in these last couple possessions.
Well, people may say, he's doing mop-up duty and it's against backups for Georgia. Just what do you do with your opportunity? What do you do with your reps? And right now, Zion Turner making the most of these reps moving forward. They got a game next week, Missouri State. I'm not trying to say it's a quarterback controversy or anything, but you may be in a little bit of a battle come next week for who may start.
This is Ben Turner, D2 transfer, Huntington native on the screen. Third down coming up.
Mike and Kirk, obviously, important to remember 74 new players, right, on this Marshall squad. I talked to their athletics director, who just got there in July, Gerald Harrison, and didn't hire Gibson, but he told me that he sees how much he loves this school, how much he loves this state. And he said, I want to make sure everybody knows we have to be patient enough to let him build this the right way. We need stability, and we have a coach who really wants to be here.
Yeah, Don, good stuff. Turner incomplete down the sideline, intended for Adrian Norton. And fourth down coming up.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that, Don. Patience. Because in today's college football, you don't have patience because of the transfer portal. Being able to go out and change your team around quickly.
Number 10 is now 42. Number 10 is 42.
But the mass exodus of so many players from Marshall after last season, this is a different sort of rebuild. And you have to have patience in building this thing back up. But they've got a nice group of guys who are just learning each other for the first time. They want to set themselves up for conference play, clicking on all cylinders.
Fair catch from Jacoby White-Helton. Inside of 4 to go. Georgia steamrolling Marshall.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
Have fun with Lizzie this summer.
Doors connect us to what's important. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll help you build a personalized investment strategy. Doors were meant to be open.
This week only at Ashley's Labor Day sale. Shop limited time doorbuster deals starting at just $3.99. And get this queen mattress, now just $2.79. Plus pay no interest until 2030 when you buy in store. Only at Ashley.
Denny's has 5 slams starting at $5. Full meals, stacked high and under budget. 5 slams starting at $5? That's eating like a genius. Find your booth at Denny's and join the new Denny's Rewards for even more smart savings.
This game has gotten out of control. All the money, the unpredictability. It's time we instate a commissioner.
Introducing the commissioner of coverage, the Aflac Duck.
Commissioner, when health insurance falls short, who pays you cash to help with your medical bills?
Aflac. The commissioner has spoken.
I love that duck.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with
Aflac, an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Y'all can ask about it at work.
Next 5 games, you get the tune-up against Austin Peay and then a test At Tennessee, you get Alabama in September as well. Back nine looks like this. It includes Ole Miss. You get DJ Lagway in Florida, and you get the team that was #1 in Texas and Arch Manning, and a team that struggled against Ohio State today.
Now, but look at that team. That's also at the end, that Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket team. That's going to be tough. Another neutral site game for the Dogs down in Atlanta to end the season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Tennessee and Alabama are the two big ones that come up for Gunnar Stockton in Georgia. Tennessee looked very good against Syracuse today. Joey Aguilar taking over at quarterback for Nico Iamaleava. And right now, Alabama trailing Florida State. They just played the highlights here, and the crowd keeps loving it, seeing that Florida State's still leading the Tide.
Yeah, they're up 14 points on the Tide right now. Castellanos doing a good job playing quarterback. But they've got the Tide coming here to Athens. You know, only 3 true road games, but having the Tide come here, Ole Miss as well, a team that they lost to a year ago, in Texas. So your big games that people kind of circle are all going to be at home for Georgia this year.
Inside of 3 minutes to go. 3rd down and 1 coming up after a Josh McCray carry. The Illinois transfer at 240 pounds beside Ryan Puglisi. It's McCray, and he lowers the shoulder for a 1st down, takes it past the 25 with a 5-yard pickup. Well, Gunnar Stockton showed him on the sideline, threw for 2, ran for 2 more. And then Zachariah Branch, who, again, we had shown him go down on a punt return, just appeared to be cramping. He got up and jogged off the field, and he was explosive as promised.
Yeah, we met with both these guys yesterday, sat down with us, just the smiles on their faces, Gunnar Stockton and Zachariah Branch. They were excited just to get out there. And we asked Gunnar, what do you think of Zachariah? You know, when did you know you had something? He said, the first time we went out to practice, and this guy's just running around. We're like, wait, he's different. This guy is different. And we saw it today.
Stockton and Branch headline this one. 2-minute timeout in the 4th.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat. On ESPN.
Let's check out this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Verbo. So, Ohio State got the win against Texas earlier today, and still some big games this weekend, including tonight over on ABC, LSU and Clemson.
Oh, man, quarterbacks, baby. Klubnik, Nussmeier, 2 guys who maybe we're talking about next year in the NFL Draft 2026.
Ryan Puglisi goes spinning, unafraid of contacts. It sets up 3rd down and medium after a 5-yard pickup. Yeah, we got some good ones. You got Notre Dame and Miami tomorrow. We've had a lot of activity around the country today, and a lot of people still keeping an eye on Florida State and Alabama right now, with Florida State up by 14 on number 8 Bama. Third down here for Georgia. Quick hitter is broken up, intended for Josh McCray. A Johnny Cuevas Gillis in coverage for Marshall, and it brings up 4th down, and Georgia sends out the punt unit. News and notes in the SEC. Steve Sarkisian said after Texas's loss, well, let's not think that this is the whole book yet. He said this is one chapter of what we've seen.
Yeah, and that's all you can say after your first game. You know, it's still a lot of football left, 11 guaranteed games. How you started today off, you get 12 guaranteed. They got 11 more ahead. Long way to go for Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns.
I appreciate you listening to me. Thanks, man.
I always do, Mike.
That was like 3 hours ago. Tough news for Sam Horn, you saw him there, by the way. At Mizzou, Bo Prabula looked pretty good the other night. All right, so we got 1:13 to go, and Georgia has rolled throughout this one. Again, still to come after our game. We'll get you to College Station for a top 20 team in Texas A&M hosting UTSA. Good day for Gunnar Stockton. Overall, your grade for him today, what would you give?
I would give him about a B+. You know, I think there are some things that I want to continue to see him work on. Pushing the ball down the field a little bit. I thought he took care. I thought he did the positives, though. I don't want to give him the overgrade, because I always say that there's room for improvement. I think Kirby Smart would say the same thing. He's got a passing grade for today, though. I love the way that he used his legs, his poise at the line of scrimmage. I thought he just did an outstanding job, but you want to see him continue to improve as the stakes start to get higher throughout this season.
And again, they are a couple of weeks away from that. Tennessee and Alabama in September for the number 5 team in the country. Zion Turner with a pitch. That's Judah Price, who stumbles down near the line of scrimmage. On flip side for Marshall, just a final word on them. We're both big fans of Tony Gibson. Great success as a defensive coordinator. West Virginia, most recently at NC State. And they're going to find their way with all these new faces.
Yeah, today was a test just to see where they were. You know, they were excited for the opportunity to play a top 5 team in the country in Georgia. And so they'll go back to the drawing board. And they see, you know, there are some ways for them to go. But you're excited for the way that they came out to compete today. They were just outmanned.
Well, that'll do it here in Athens. Kirby Smart begins year 10 here between the hedges with a convincing win against Marshall and an SEC record 32nd straight home win here at Sanford Stadium. Kirby Smart with a lot to like. Defense was excellent as well, especially the first 3 quarters of the game. Plenty of TFLs that kept Marshall to right around 200 yards of total offense. And Gunnar Stockton taking over for Carson Beck, who you will see tomorrow on ABC with Miami against Notre Dame. Accounts for 4 touchdowns for the Dogs. QB1 in Athens gets the job done.
Yeah, I thought he did an outstanding job, and can't wait to see what the games down the road start to begin and look like.
45-7 is your final. Georgia gets the win. Still to come, UTSA at Texas A&M. For Kirk Morrison, Don Davenport, and our entire crew behind the scenes, led by producer Caitlin Erka and director Eric Fry, Mike Monaco saying so long. UTSA Texas A&M is on the way as we say so long from Athens.